Good, sir.
So good morning from the Atlanta playing field. In fact, from the Parviers playing field, we want to welcome you. Good morning here. It's chilly conditions with the news. Semi-final game. Masters have won the toss. They've elected to bat as they have done throughout the series. Danish Patel and Rajdeep Darbar on your screen. They're out in the middle. Pankaj Rao has been given the ball. And here's the first ball of this semi-final. And it's Raiders Unlimited against Masters. With the news, Kingsmen will be the team to meet in the final. So we're ready for the Atlanta Open T20 tournament. And we come down to the last three teams. Raiders Unlimited, they take on Masters. Masters being captained by Rajdeep Darbar. They have won all their games so far. And Calvin Savage leads the Raiders Unlimited with one loss to the UMMC earlier on in the season. I'm joined by Brian Walters into the box. And Brian, now there are three teams. In a couple of hours or maybe 3 or 4 hours from now, we'll see which team will earn the right to play the Kingsmen in the final. So Brian Walters, welcome to the semi-final.
Leonardo Tribar, good morning. Fantastic tournament all the way around that comes down now to the business end. As you mentioned, the Kingsmen, who look to be a really strong side, are already in the finals. And this match this morning is to see who gets to join them right here on Field 2 later on today. Business end here because interestingly you mentioned the Masters Cricket Club have won the toss and chose to bat rather. I was surprised because of that, because very thick outfield, a lot of moisture around, and the conventional thinking might have been that they'd want to bowl under those circumstances. But as you said, they won the toss and batted throughout the entire tournament. No reason to change things up here for the final or the semi-final.
So Rajdeep Darbar comes in to strike, a man who stands at the top of the heap with 268, the most runs in the tournament. Into the onside, and he's off and running. So 269, Brian Walters, top of the heap for Rajdeep Darbar.
Fantastic batter. I've seen him virtually. This is the first I've seen him in person. And I would say that he's easy on the eye just from the 1 or 2 deliveries that he's faced so far. Shaped as a proper batter. And as you mentioned, 269 runs in the tournament is nothing to sneeze at. Interesting, Pankaj Rao opening the bowling, several bowling options as you'd imagine for the Raiders Unlimited. At some point, I'm going to see when they choose to bring on the left arm spin from Nosh Kenjige.
And Brian, one of the things we've seen this Masters team as a couple of runs there for Danish Patel is that the opening combination has always been Danish Patel and Rajdeep Darbar. Does that count for something coming into this game?
You have consistency. You have the ability to understand each other. You know each other's games. And so that certainly would be reasons for having that combination stay together at the top of the order. And even under the circumstances where batting conditions are difficult, that's not a bad ploy.
And as we come back to Rajdeep Darbar, one of 3 centurions in this series, we saw Nitish Kumar, we saw Sai Gajela, and Rajdeep Darbar. Very elite club, a club that only includes 3 players so far. Still a couple of games to go. We've seen some explosive knock yesterday from Sharjeel Khan. He got up to 67.
Oh, goodness.
Lovely strike from Danish Patel. And the first maximum comes in the first over. Lovely shot from Danish Patel.
Interesting. Advanced down the track. Took one step towards the pitch of the ball. That ball would have been ordinarily on sort of a short of driving length. But he took a step down, met it on the half volley, and went over the top of the first six. That's not a very big boundary, Leonard. The straight boundaries are both very short. My estimation would be 50 to 55 yards. So it doesn't take much to clear those balls. If you go through with the shot, that's always going to be 6.
So a lovely strike from Danish Patel. He loves going straight down the ground. And Brian Walters is so important that sometimes as commentators, you know the weaknesses and strength of a lot of these players. And if I was Pankaj Rao, I will never bowl the ball pitched up to Danish Patel. He loves going to long on and long off. I'll try to push him off the back foot.
Not a bad ploy. Danish Patel, of course, the other opener. 69 runs for the tournament so far, so 29 runs is his high score, but he's a much more dangerous batter than those numbers would seem to indicate.
So a couple of good balls to end the first over. Masters batting first. They're 10 for no loss. So welcome back, 10 for no loss. Masters winning the toss, electing to bat first, captained by Rajdeep Darbar. And Brian Walters, when you look at Rajdeep Darbar, his lowest score of this series came in the quarterfinal against the Atlanta Fire, 33. And we've seen him getting scores of 112, 44, and 79. He's really been prolific as Akhilesh Budugum, the tall off spinner, given the ball.
This is interesting for me. We just talked about the fact that the straight boundaries are very short. The traditional off spinner would want to have the batter coming forward. But even if you don't get all the way to the pitch, hitting the ball in the air from the off spinner, going straight is always going to be tricky because you clear the boundary there with a 53 or 54 yard hit. Akhilesh Budugum is going to have to be bang on target with his length. His length is going to be very crucial. And then you don't want it to be driving length, but you also don't want it to be too short because only two allowed outside the circle inside the power play. Those two at long on and mid wicket, bang on target with his length and his line here.
So ball cut away. Good start here from Akhilesh Budugum. And Brian, we have always talked about fast bowlers. It's good to their advantage that they're tall. How advantageous is spinners when they're tall, like Akhilesh Budugum?
It's actually not very different in terms of the advantage. Number one, you're releasing the ball from probably 8.5, 9 feet in the air, so you get bounce. And he sometimes flights it, but other times pushes it through. But the idea is the ball is coming to you at a higher trajectory. So the bounce that you'll get from Akhilesh Budugum is much more consistent and more pronounced than you would get from a shorter spinner.
So Patel comes into strike. And we've seen 247. We've seen 253 from this.
Shane Samuels, very respected umpired in the major leagues earlier in this year. Standing at square leg is Sandeep Gundalekar.
Cut away. That's a lovely strike from Rajdeep Darbar. And that has gone for another 6 in this innings. This time off the bat, the captain.
Well, I mentioned he had to be spot on with his length. The length here was too short, but what was really bad was the line. It was well outside the line of off stump. Looking at the replay here, look, when this ball gets to the batter well outside the line of off stump, gave him the room to open up the shoulders and go over the top. Nobody in the deep on that side of the ground, but it doesn't matter because that would have cleared the fielder had there been there anyway. So Akhilesh Budugum was a very good bowler, but just got that one wrong.
So a couple of 6s, one off the bat of Danish Patel, and we've seen a lovely strike from Rajdeep Darbar. Pulled into the onside, work here to be done. In fact, he beats the man, finds the gap, and consecutive boundaries from Rajdeep Darbar.
Yeah, maybe slightly overcorrecting. This one a little too straight, and for me, just a touch too short. Looking at Akhilesh Bodagam now, in fact, looking at the replay, the line was okay, but the
So we welcome you back to the semi-final, and if you're just joining the broadcast, Masters have won the toss, electing to bat. A plan that has really worked for them up until this point. And this is the all-important semi-final. Kingsmen will be the team. And for now, we're looking for that team to take on the Kingsmen. Into the offside. Fielder running back will not get a chance. And Danish Patel, he loves mid-on, he loves mid-off, and that has gone away for another boundary. Good shot again from Danish Patel.
again using his feet, skipping down the track. Take a look at this. May not just be able to see it on that replay there. Skipping down the track, lofting it. Mid-off is inside the circle, running back over his shoulder and not necessarily having the ability to get back there on time. Again, it's not a very big boundary in that direction. So that gives you the opportunity to score runs. And now you'll see a bit of a change in the field as mid-off goes back, not all the way back onto the boundary, sort of halfway between the 30-yard circle and the boundary. And there's also a deep square leg. Those are you two outside. But you're starting to see evidence of how this opening pair has done well so far in the tournament and why they chose to bat first, even under challenging conditions.
And Brian, when you look at conditions here, no breeze at all for the time being. Doesn't matter which end the batsman choose to go straight on the ground.
This is true. When I mentioned the conditions, I was referring to the fact that it's very wet. A lot of dew last night. The pitch itself, I think, is fine. A lot of dew in the outfield would mean that the ball will get heavy early. Won't swing as much, so the batters will like that, but it gets heavier, much heavier and harder to play, harder to get the sort of stroke play that you'd ordinarily like to see as a batter. So conditions, I think, are going to be better for the team batting second, which is why it emphasizes the fact that because they've done so well batting first, that essentially becomes their philosophy. So they ignore all of the other issues relating to how the ball might behave or how the conditions might be, because they have that much confidence in their approach with the bat that they can bat first.
So 11 runs in the over so far. We've seen a couple of good balls, good comeback deliveries from Pankaj Rao.
Interesting that you note that Hamza Tariq is now up to the stumps, even for the fast bowler, because a couple of times you've seen where Danish Patel has skipped down the track. In fact, each of them, Danish Patel and Rajdeep Darbar, have both skipped down the track to create the leverage to make a half or short of length delivery into a half volley. Looking to offset that sort of approach is why exactly you see wicketkeeper Hamza Tariq up to the stumps.
And speaking of Hamza Tariq, who comes out of Canada, ball into the onside. The Canadians have made it through to the World T20 qualifier for the time being just a couple of days ago in Bermuda. And these days the Canadians have gone with Srimanta Wijeratne in favor of Hamza Tariq, but 27 for no loss. Masters off to a good start. They're going 10 over 10 and over. And the man with most runs in this series so far came into this game with 268, continues to bat well. Into the onside, looking for runs again. And Calvin Savage, wow, just trotting after that ball, should have pulled that one back.
Calvin Savage deciding pretty early that that one was going to make it to the boundary. My sense is that if he sprints, he may just be able to pull that back. Now, it has to be said, Calvin Savage is carrying a bit of an injury. Very cold conditions, and I believe what he'd had earlier in this week was a pulled hamstring. So you don't want to push that, especially cold, chilly conditions. That might be why he's just chosen to jog after that one. But certainly had there been somebody else in that position, you'd think that they might have had the chance to cut that off.
So another boundary here for the Masters. They've gone with a couple of sixes. We've seen 3-4s. And Darbar, such a prolific season for him. I made a point as high. His lowest score is 33. So the third over comes to a close. They're off to a good start. And it's 31 for none.
Oh, goodness.
So bowling change. Akhilesh Budagum, who was gone for 12 in the first over, gives way to Rushil Ugakar. And Brian, we've seen this youngster before. A lot of potential.
It's more than potential. He's producing on the field today. And by the way, when I say today, I mean as he plays his cricket right now. Yesterday, his figures in the quarterfinals were not, they don't jump off the page at you. He took 1 wicket, conceded, I think, around 25 runs. But he bowled with a specific plan in mind, full outside the line of off, and contained Shamar Brooks in such a way that essentially created the environment where the opposition side, the Atlanta Lightning, were bowled out for 87 runs. So tremendous bowler. Sometimes opens the bowling for the Dallas Mustangs in the minor leagues, usually then a support bowler, but tremendous all-round skill. And I think bringing him in is evidence of that fact.
So ball pulled away. A lovely shot again from Danish Patel. Another good start from Ugakar. Short and hammered into the onside. That's another lovely shot.
Tricky conditions for any bowler because, as I said, driving down the ground is a short boundary. So that automatically makes you want to keep it short of length. So I understand wanting to bowl shorter than normal, but this one is just a little too short, and it allows Danish Patel to rock back onto the back foot and power it away for 4.
Oh, that's a lovely shot again, running up towards the cover boundary. They'll pick up at least 2. And so a couple of runs here from Danish Patel. He's looking solid, Brian Walters, and they're off to a quick start. They're up to 37 for no loss. And both batters have found ways to really pick up the boundaries.
Well, that one was also destined for the boundary. I think the length was better on that occasion, but the line was too far outside off. Hammered and well fielded, partially stopped by Nitish Kumar at point. And you see him now holding his wrist because that was traveling and it would have caused some damage. And now, in fact, he's dropping back onto the boundary here toward us because I think now the plan may just be get it outside the line of off, full enough that it can be driven, not short that it can be cut away over the top, but the line, I think, is going to be on the off stump.
And Brian, when you look at Rushil Ugakar, I made mention in Houston and in Houston last week, I love his bowling stride. Very good run-up.
Very much so. It's an elegant sort of a run-up. Furious several steps, and then as he gathers momentum toward the end, the steps become longer right there.
Cut away. Budagum does well to save a boundary. And you look, he does a bit of Courtney Walsh, runs in with the ball in the left hand, and then as he gets up to that build up, from which he delivers, he changes the ball to the right hand. My question is, Brian, at the very last moment, he decides to the seam position of the finger into the offside. Another easy single here for Darbar. Isn't it a very late decision where you hold, where is your finger on the seam?
I would say that what you just said is accurate because obviously if you're a seam bowler, a pace bowler, the seam position is so critical. Whereas you sometimes see it relevant if you're bowling reverse swing and you're wanting to hide from the batter which side is the shiny side, and you might hide it until the very last second. But that represents an element of risk.
Pulled away. We've seen an attacking approach from Danish Patel. It has really worked. And so the fourth over comes to a close. Is 40 for no loss.
So I mentioned earlier, I wondered when we would see the left arm spin of Nush Kenjige. Well, that is exactly what you see here. Nush Kenjige, a brilliant bowler, but more to the point, a left arm orthodox spinner. So he's turning the ball away from the two right-handed batters. Both very aggressive, but both have shown the ability to go big over the offside, meaning go over mid-off and long-off in that direction. So this, for me, is an intriguing matchup this early in the match because a really wily, orthodox left-arm spinner against two very aggressive batters. Rajdeep Darbar, 17 from 10, 2 fours and a 6. Danish Patel, 23 from 14, also with 2 fours and a 6. 40 without loss so far after 4.
So Kenjige starts well, and Brian, if Kenjige gets into the final, if his team, Raiders Unlimited, gets into the final, it will be 2 finals in the space of 7 days. It was last Sunday he was playing for the Dallas Mustangs.
And he is not only a brilliant orthodox spinner, as you mentioned, 2 finals in 2 weeks or 2 consecutive Sundays. Also spent time in the major leagues with the MI New York franchise. So tremendous all-around skills, not to mention the leading spinner in USA cricket for a long time now at the 50 over and the T20 levels. So talent all around for this young man.
So Darbar simply not in control, but away from the fielder. Darbar came into this game with 268. Nitish Kumar, he's up at 219, a chance for him to advance. Shayan Jahangir with 206, but his work is done in this tournament. Colin Munro, he's alive with chance to up his scoring. He's up to 161. And Gajala, 150, would have scored one century, joining Nitish Kumar and Rajdeep Darbar. So a chance for Darbar to allow himself to really add to that tally of 268 coming into this game. And Danish Patel on 24, he's batted well. In fact, the openers have given Masters a very good start, opting to bat first.
Really interesting. You feel that these 2 batters are going to want to attack Nush Kenjige. And so 2 balls remaining here in the 5th over. You're almost out of the power play. I wonder which one of these 2 deliveries they're going to want to go after.
Yeah, good stuff here from Kenjige.
Boy, bang on target. Keeping it just out of the hitting zone. That control of length is so absolutely critical. Anything overpitched is going into the next field. But Kenjige being able to drop that ball right on the perfect length to keep it out of the zone of the hitters.
So Novas has gone for only 2. Make that 3. So the 5th over comes to a close. It's 43 for no loss. So good start. 5 overs gone, 43 on the board. Masters opting to bat first, as they have done throughout the series. And this is the all-important semi-final. Coming into the box is Ryan Davis, and our commentary team includes Brian Walters, Shaw Faisal a little bit later on. And now we've got Ryan Davis. Ryan, welcome to the semi-final. It's gone well for the Masters so far.
Lenny, thanks for having me. This is fantastic. And yes, like you said, Masters so comfortable at setting the total. They've done that in their four previous matches and won all 4 matches. And Patel and Darbar going back to work. One on the front foot, one on the back foot, but they're scoring heavily and putting a lot of pressure on the Raiders so far.
So Sonny Patel giving the ball. Starts pretty well. We saw Sonny Patel last week, and I spoke about Kenjige. If his team gets into this final today, it'll be a couple of Sundays that he's been in final. This man also, Sonny Patel, he's been a part of that Cavaliers team as ball is driven into the offside and picks up a run. Very important one for both of these teams.
Absolutely. And Patel, being a wrist spinner, coming on so early, is still in the power play, slowing things down for the batters, 2 opening batters who are usually used to playing medium to medium fast bowlers. They have to make the adjustment, and Patel's spot on so far.
Oh, it's a lovely shot from Rajdeep Darbar. He goes square, over square leg, and that has gone a long way. Lovely shot from Rajdeep Darbar. Brings up the 50 here for the Masters, and it comes in fine style.
You don't bowl there to that man. Straying out to middle and leg towards leg stump, and Darbar just getting onto one knee. It is just like a reflex action, Lenny. Just a bit of a stray from Patel. And boy, the Darbar making most of it. Some leg spinners, you know, accuracy and consistency could be a problem. And Darbar has to take advantage of the loose deliveries to overcome the good ones.
So another good looking shot from Rajdeep Darbar, his second 6 of the innings so far. He's had a prolific season, and it's no wonder that the Masters are playing the semi-final. Is that the kind of shot that you still want to take the risk and play as we're into the power play still?
Absolutely, but Patel doing a great job adjusting his line and forcing Darbar in the back foot.
It's a good couple of comeback delivery here from Sonny Patel, tall leg spinner. Doesn't the leg spinner bring so much variation into the game, Ryan?
He does, but in the power play, he's going to want to put Darbar on his back foot. And this is not a quickie, so a spinner, Darbar is going to have to generate the power off of his back foot to score boundaries, which is always going to be a problem.
Pulled into the onside. Fielder does well to come around. A bit of bubble. And the ball ricochet past the rope. And that's 4 more runs for the Masters team.
Well, Patel, this one sticks in his fingers just a little bit too much. He drops it short. Darbar gives it the works. But Patel had cover, a deep mid wicket. And fielding all adds up at the end of the day, Lenny. Will this be a factor? Only time will tell.
So the 6th over comes to a close. It's 54 without loss. So 6 overs gone, 54 for no loss. We've just seen the completion of the power play. Ryan Davis as Kenjike will continue.
Difference with the wrist spinner, understanding the dew on the ground. It's a little bit colder in Rydell, Georgia. A lot of dew picks up onto the ball, but the finger spinner will have a lot more control than the wrist spinner.
And Ryan Davis, this one, good running from Danish Patel and Rajdeep Darbar. The combination of Rajdeep Darbar and Danish Patel has been fixed for Masters. How important is that for running sharp singles?
Absolutely. After you play with each other over many different matches, you start to get in the same zone, if you will, and they start creating quick singles out of nothing.
Big appeal. Now they'll see umpire Sandeep G.
But again, Lenny, that's where Kenjike wants to live, in that corridor of uncertainty where Darbar has to rock back on his back foot, not sure if to come forward.
So ball driven into the offside. And Ryan Davis, I'm going to make an observation. I want your opinion on this. We've seen the T20 game that the regulation has always been the first 6 overs. You play within the power play session. That has always been like the universal rule. My question is, how many times you've seen teams use the couple of fielders outside of the power play, and because the power play comes to an end, they think they are forced to use a spread field?
Correct.
Why not stay inside still?
Correct. They just want to start defending the runs rather than continue to be aggressive, and that plays into the batter's hands sometimes.
Into the square leg area. This partnership has gone up to 57. What Raiders Unlimited need to do? They're going at 8 runs and over.
I think these spinners are doing the job right now. They're going to bring the run rate back down. I think both spinners have adjusted to each batter. They're going to get Darbar into that second-guessing sort of corridor of uncertainty and make Patel score off of his back foot and square the wicket.
So we've seen a good partnership posted here by the Masters. The 7th over comes to a close. They're batting well, 58 for no loss. So 7 overs gone, 58 for no loss. And Rajdeep Darbar will be the man on strikes. Sunny Patel will continue. And in the box with Ryan Davis, who has had a knack and a penchant for short games.
Yes, I've brought the 6s and the 4s with me, especially in the second innings for the batting team. So eat your heart out, Raiders.
And folks, for all our viewers, you might be wondering, while there's a bit of hold up here, you might be wondering what I'm talking about. Ryan Davis comes from Orlando. He's joined the team this year, and some of the games that he's been assigned to, we see Ryan Davis will come back after maybe an hour, and we ask him what's going on, and he say his game is done.
That's right. I'm going to let the captains know that I will be in the booth at that time, so they can freely go after their shots, and more often than not, they will come off because I'm commentating at that time.
So a bit of hold up here as we've seen Sunny Patel. He's getting ready to bowl, but...
Now, Lenny, do we call this a wardrobe malfunction when it comes to Darbar? We saw Janet Jackson in the award ceremony about 10-15 years ago, and we have Darbar having a hard time with his wardrobe.
So Darbar has some work done to his boot, and Ryan Davis, some players are very superstitious about their equipment, what they use.
Tell you what, both bat and ball sports, baseball and cricket, there is a method to the madness. Left sock on first, right sock on after, left glove on first, right one after. Anything to give yourself a mental advantage, it will be used.
And you look at Rajdeep Darbar, maybe the suggestion was made, you need to change your shoes. And he said, no, I'm not going to do that. I made 268 with these shoes. into the onside, looking for runs. They'll only get one. So we've seen a good pull back here from the spinners. At one time, Ryan, they were going at 11, 12 and over. They've gone down to 8.2, and that boot continues to be a problem here for Rajdeep Darbar.
Yep, just want to go back to the run rate situation. Patel understanding Darbar, obviously playing against him a couple of times. Let him score off of that front foot within the V. And there's Darbar. Well, he has so many runs in his shoe, Lenny, that his shoe itself is giving away. So Patel allowing Darbar to try and score within the V, and Patel the exact opposite. Have him try to score square of the wicket. His hot zone is in the V. Have Patel, the taller man, score square of the wicket.
So lofted into the offside. We'll, in fact, look at that. The beats long off and cover. And that has gone away for 4. So a lovely shot again from Danish Patel, and this partnership continues to prosper, Ryan.
I'm going to send a note out to Patel. He pitched this one up. Sorry, yep. And he came down the track, got to the pitch of the ball. Beautiful technique, inside out, over extra cover. But again, you have to bang one in short and have Patel try to score off his back foot. Don't let him get on the front foot and score heavily.
Oh, pulled away. That's a lovely shot again from Danish Patel. Finds the gap from a short ball from Sunny Patel. And Masters continue to move on here. That's 4 more runs, 6 to 7 for none.
Lenny, this is not the short ball I was talking about, though. This turned into a quick long hop. And the old adage in cricket, you can't set a field for bad bowling. And Patel paying the heavy price. Pitch it outside leg. You get right into the wheelhouse of any batter at that point.
Again, ball driven down the ground. Has he found the gap? Fielder will come around. Now Ryan Davis, a shot like that, probably another hour or so, will probably run a tad quicker across this outfield.
Correct. As the sun continues to come out and it gets a little warmer. It's not going to get too warm, Lenny. It's going to only get to a high of 65. A little bit of English conditions today in Rydell, Georgia, and we love it.
Yeah, earlier on we heard Brian Walters made mention of wet and moist. I wonder.
Now, Lenny, a little bit of an issue this morning in regards to the climate because of the amount of moisture on the ground. Understand that this cricket ball, as it rolls on this heavily moist outfield, it picks up a lot of water, and then within the 10th over, it becomes soft.
So Danish Patel is gone, playing back to a delivery that probably ran straight. And the first wicket goes on. Patel is gone. It's 69 for 1. Sunny Patel strikes.
Well, Sunny Patel forced Danish Patel onto his back foot, and that was the remedy. Don't let him come forward. He rocked back on middle to middle and off. That's where you want to live, and paid the ultimate price. So Sunny Patel in the end wins the battle. Danish Patel departs. Here's that replay again, just short of a length. Batter in 2 minds. Patel trying to live in that V and lofted over mid-on. But the turn by Patel and skidded on just a bit, Lenny. And it was enough to upset his timber.
So 8 overs gone, 69 for 1. We've just seen the departure of Danish Patel. And Jihan Sananayaka comes to the middle, the left-hander.
Well, life does not get easier for the Raiders. Sananayaka always amongst the runs. He had a 60 off of 41 deliveries against the Falcons a couple of days ago. 23 off of 12 2 days ago. So he's scoring quickly to go along with the aggressive Darbar.
So Rushil Ugarkar switches in. He comes back for his second spell. We saw an over from him that went for 9.
I love this switch by Colin Savage. Now that they're out of the power play, Ugakar has the ability to hit outside off stump on a full length. So hard for the batters to get the middle of the bat onto the ball. And Captain Savage wants to slow the run rate down.
So Rajdeep Darbar, we made mention how prolific he's been. He's on 299 runs, the highest in the series. And so if he gets a single, he will be the first man to go up to 300 runs. And there we go. In fact, he will have to wait a while longer. Are you impressed with Rushil Ugakar, the youngster?
I'm glad you brought it up. I heard you and Brian talking about his action, and the only way you can be that accurate is if you have a fluid action where it takes little to no effort to hit the ball on the spot over and over again. And yes, I heard you talk about the Courtney Walsh. I like to say more of a Michael Holding, Lenny, because his action is a lot more fluid than Courtney Walsh. But look at that rhythm. So steady.
Pulled into the onside, square leg will come around, and that's 300 runs for Rajdeep Darbar in this series, the most by any player.
Not only consistent, but scoring at a heavy strike rate, which has put so much pressure on the opposing fielders and bowlers. And whenever he's in the wicket, understand that the bowlers are consistently under pressure with his scoring rate.
So Senanaika gets ready to face his first ball. We've seen how solid he can be.
More importantly, Lenny, the lefty-righty combination.
And Ryan Davis, are you pleased with a start here from the Masters, opting to bat first, playing into their strength?
Love it. It's almost like a rhythm for them now. Everyone in the pavilion understands their roles, and they're continuing episode 5.
Look at that, full flow of the bat, playing straight. In T20 cricket, there's always still room for the correct player.
We call it cricket shots. You can play it on any ground, in any format, in any game. And Senanaika showing that first delivery. You want to stay in that V as a batter. You want to get technically correct, get your eye in, get your hand-eye coordination in rhythm.
Cut away, carved over the offside. And we'll wait. In fact, it has gone away for 4. So pace on a delivery short and wide. And Darbar, with the kind of form he has been in the series, that's easy picking for Darbar.
Well, the little man scores so heavily off of the back foot. And Ugakar uncharacteristically dropping this one short. Maybe sticking in his hands, his fingers just a little bit too long, Lenny. Overcompensate for that dew on the ball that we talked about. But he paid the price, as so many other bowlers have, when they pounded it in short at Darbar.
So Darbar lowest score. Ryan Davis, 33 against the fire. Isn't that a $153 on opening day, 247 another day.
That's been the trend, Lenny. They've taken the game out of the fielders' hands so early in matches by setting these mammoth totals. Well, the opposing batting team comes in, they see the scoreboard, understand what's expected of them, and it's so hard to live up to that expectation because you have to be so perfect to reach a score like that.
So we saw Stallions X winning last year. And the big question is, who will take the championship honor this year? 9 gone, 76 for 1. So welcome back to this semi-final. Raiders Unlimited, led by Calvin Savage. Masters led by Rajdeep Darbar. He's really led from the front, Ryan Davis, as we head into the halfway stage of Masters.
Love the fact that the tall off spinner will continue from the southern end. Force Darbar to generate the power off his back foot, Lenny.
So Akhilesh Budagum starts. Ball cracked into the offside, looking for a couple of runs off the fumble. How important, Ryan, are the batters to take advantage of those fumbles in the deep?
They all add up, especially in the shorter format of the game. Just want to talk about Budagum, his ability to contain batters. 1 for 17 yesterday, continuing again today.
So ball pulled into the onside from Darbar. Fielder will come around, so this over's gone for 3.
Just want to see Darbar occasionally try to score off of his front foot. Yes, you want to bang a couple in short to get him on the back foot, but you have to toss one up and make Darbar come down the track, or try to get onto that V area and try to score boundaries in that area rather than on his back foot and square the wicket.
So Senanayaka comes into strike. He will have to contend with the off spinner in Budagum. Off spinners to left-handed, the ball turns away. And these days of matchups in T20 cricket, is this one a better one for this off spinner here?
Yep, the natural grip and turn going away from the left-hander is always going to be a taller task.
So ball driven into the offside. Senanayaka picks up another run, and Ryan Davis, we've seen so much batting to come. Guranshu Sharma, Jonathan Carter forms the top order for this team.
Well, when you get to this stage of the tournament, the batting lineups are long and thick, so the bowlers have to bring their best.
So playing a miss, Rasheen Samuels is unmoved, a bit of stifled appeal. This over's gone pretty well for the off spinner. And we're beginning to see this run rate hovering just over 8. So the bowling has really come back, pulling it down from 11 at one point. Darbar looking for runs into the offside. And this has been a very good over. We are on the verge of getting to the halfway stage of this Masters team. They've won the toss, electing to bat. They have done so throughout the series. Into the offside, can't score. So a tidy over comes to a close. 10 gone. It's 80 for 1.
The halfway stage, 80 for 1. The Masters, after winning the toss and electing to bat on a beautiful day here in Rydal, the Paramveer Cricket Complex. We're into the second semi-final of Atlanta Open T20 2023. After a very competitive first 10 overs, the game is still in the balance. And we look forward to some more excitement here in the remaining part of this innings. And to share the mic with me for some part of it, it's none other than Brian Walters. Good morning, Brian.
Shah Faisal, good morning to you. You mentioned better conditions today than yesterday. I'll say more after this ball. Current temperature, maybe low 50s. But there is no wind, or there's very little wind. So it's actually much more pleasant, even though it was warmer yesterday, it was blustery. And so I think the players will appreciate that. More to the point, batting conditions we thought were going to be difficult, but I'll tell you, the start that Rajdeep Darbar and Guranshu Sharma and now Gihan Senanayake have had, 80 for 1 after 10.1. They're pushing on towards what would potentially be a match-winning total here.
You see that bounce, appeal. Did the drag, the back foot dragged or didn't? I don't know. Umpire said no, but you're right. It's a good platform in the first 10 overs. Having seen that last delivery, which bounced quite so much from a good length.
That's exactly the point. Look at Hamza Tariq there behind the stumps. Good work, but clearly back foot still grounded behind the line.
Good work by the camera staff here as well. It helps when we're just almost square of the wicket, so we can get good pictures on those line calls.
So commentating, more often than not, you want to be straight. But the one time where it's absolutely a benefit is when you're square of the wicket looking for adjudications on runouts or on stumpings. And obviously, you're in the right place to be able to do that. But good over so far in progress, though. Sunny Patel into his third over. He's already taken the 1 wicket to fall. Only conceded 24 runs so far. You'll take that from your leg spinning all-rounder.
Oh, that one kept low. So that's the signs of those invariable bounce that we thought. But then again, this is to the left-hander, so probably there is that patch or something outside the off stump of the left-hander. Sharp work again from Hamza Tariq, keeping the batter on his toes, keeping the umpire on his toes as well.
Absolutely. He's gone past the outside edge a number of times, which leads me to think that he potentially is bowling googlies because his stock ball is coming into the lefty and from around the wicket too. That angle would seem to suggest that he's bowling googlies to have the ball turning away from the left-handed batter.
That was short though, straight to the fielder. Senanaki will be disappointed because there was an opportunity. It's another good one from Sunny Patel. Bowled with good control, 11 gone, 83 for 1.
Shah Faisal, the spinners, once they've come on, have done the work to pull things back. The last 5 overs have only conceded 29 runs. So essentially, you're keeping a good batting side at a run a ball. They still have 9 wickets in hand, so you don't necessarily feel comfortable yet. But the spinners in particular, Akhilesh Bodhagam, Sunny Patel, and Nosh Kenjige have done really well to restrict the scoring rate.
Yeah, Akhilesh is a very, very handy customer. Tall off spinner. This is in the air, shots a catch it. Fielder's coming around and gets it. That's the pressure that Brian was talking about. It did tell eventually, because when the platform is set, the batters will be looking to capitalize and go big. Senanaki tried, but he found the fielder in the deep, and Bodhagam with the wicket.
A pretty straightforward catch in the deep to Sujit Gowda. Here you see the mistake that he makes, even though the line was there that would suggest that the shot was on. But a little bit, maybe just a hint of turn from Akhilesh Bodhagam, and that causes the ball to sort of splice off the upper edge of the bat. Instead of going cleanly toward mid-wicket, it goes up in the air, and a well-judged catch by Sujit Gowda. Not much wind today, so the ball was not necessarily swirling, so it becomes, in effect, a pretty straightforward catch. And there we see, just on the replay, a hint of turn, taking it away from the power stroke. That's the effectiveness of an off-spinner to the left-hander. We were talking about that before, and that's why you have that man in the deep for that specific shot. Great piece of bowling by Akhilesh Bodhagam, who went for a few runs. His second over, in fact, his first over, the second over of the innings, went for 12, but he's done very well since that. 2.1 overs now, 1 for 16. Excellent bowling for him.
83 for 2 yet, with the right arm over the wicket angle going away from the left-hander. So that shot was a high-risk shot, low percentage. And like Brian said, if you're not getting it right off the middle of the bat, you're likely to hit it in the air with no control, and that's exactly what happened. Sujit Gowda, another of those household names. Platform set, if they don't take wickets, the game can really quickly get away from them. As we watch Yasir Muhammad, the new man in, Talented cricketer. Another young, talented
It's a
cricketer.
talented young cricketer, absolutely.
Yeah, that's exactly.
A lot of those are on. Not to mention Achilles Bodogam himself, who's only 23 years old.
Yeah, Akhilesh Bodogam played for Atlanta Fire in the inaugural season of Mana League. So he knows this area pretty well, although it was at another facility. But he did make a good name for himself, and he showed his versatility back then as well. Not just being able to bowl in the power play, but being available to his captain at any stage of the innings, be it power play, middle overs, or even in the death overs. Because of his height,
Yep.
he can fire them in and try and get under the bat of the batters when they're looking to swing hard off a length. Very, very skillful bowler, Akhilesh Bodogam.
Commentator's curse. You are really good at that, Shah Faisal. He spent 30 seconds building him up, and then he serves 1-2 straight, and it gets hammered away to the vacant mid-wicket area for 4. I think Akhilesh Bodogam would prefer to bowl in the left-handed Yasir Mohammed than Rajdeep Darbar, who is now up to 45.
Yeah, and he did exactly what I said he don't do. He provided him with the length, so Darbar can get underneath it and lift it. Back on the money though, right into the stumps. A little bit risky there from Darbar, but he's well set and he's in supreme touch. The leading run scorer of the tournament, so he's seeing them pretty well. And probably good thing for Akhilesh that he's off strike for now, and he can build some pressure on young Yasir and get out of this over, which has only costed 6 runs so far and a wicket with 2 to go.
Bang on target that time, though. Again, I think he's more assured bowling to the left-handed Yasir Mohammed. And before him, of course, he just dismissed the left-handed Jihan Senanayake.
That run-up is a bit broken run-up, broken steps, and he takes that little pause as he approaches the crease. Yasir hasn't timed it. Gowda once again, and this time he floors it. He stumbled onto his knees, lost his balance, and that ball popped out of his hands. Bodogam very, very disappointed with this effort. And another chance has gone a-begging. Yasir wouldn't mind that though.
My goodness, that's exactly a similar dismissal, or would have been a similar dismissal to the one that got rid of Senanayake. Similar delivery, similar shot, same fielder. Sujit Gowda has a safe pair of hands ordinarily. He'll be very disappointed to have put that one down. That is the end of the over though. 12 up, 90 for 2.
Between the deliveries, can you show us the sketch? Yasir once again trying his luck.
Living dangerously. Of course, there are 8 wickets in hand, so he can afford to play with a bit of freedom. But I don't know necessarily that you want to just be swinging for the fences.
What did you say?
I said, I don't know that he wants to be swinging for the fences, but he's not listening to me. He has one direction in which he wants to go, and he wants to get there quickly, aiming for cow corner.
This time goes again. Another opportunity. The bowler's called it nice and early. He's misjudged it badly. He has misjudged it. You could tell he never looked like catching that ball. Fielder was going from cover. But then again, the bowler called. Another miss.
A couple of things here. Number one, bowlers almost never drop their own catches, so you'd expect him to want to go after that. But the other man who was in the vicinity was the captain, Calvin Savage, who is nursing a bit of an injury. I'll get back to that at this delivery.
Another high ball. Another opportunity. Catching practice at the moment at Paramveer Cricket Complex. And this time, Rajdeep Darbar goes. This is a big wicket.
There have been about 4 of the last 5 balls that have been hit have gone straight up in the air. 2 have been floored, but this is a big one. Rajdeep Darbar, leading batter in the entire tournament, certainly for this side. Looking set, 46 from 32 with 5 fours and 2 sixes. But this time he picks out a man in the deep, coming off the fence at long on. And again, those straight boundaries are not very long, so you expect or you understand why they're going after those types of deliveries, because it doesn't take a big hit to clear those straight boundaries, but only succeeding in spooning a simple catch. And the third wicket is down.
Yeah, but you got to pick the right length. He was reaching out for that delivery, hands way out in front and body leaning back. That's why he couldn't get the power into the shot. Plenty of elevation, no distance, and that is a big wicket. 91 for 3, Masters.
Oh, so what I was saying when on the previous delivery for the cotton bowled, ball went a mile in the air, did not judge it well, Sunny Patel, and position at cover to be anywhere close. So I suspect that that's why he didn't go after it. So the only man who would have been in position to take that catch, other than the captain himself, Kevin Savage, was the bowler, Sunny Patel. 2 wickets for him, though. He will accept that one, and now the new batter is Garanshi Sharma.
2 wickets and reasonably economical as well for a right-arm leg spinner. He's bowled with decent control, created a lot more opportunities. As 2 new batters, never ideal in the second half of a T20 innings. Another chance there. There was a confusion. Did that hit the batter? Almost did. He had to just sway out of that throw.
When was the last time you saw a limbo dance? Because that's exactly what that was. How low can you go limbo? Yasser Mohammed having to get under the bar that time. And I wonder if he's going to try the same type of approach. In the air and gone! So Nash Kenjige with a straightforward catch, and all of a sudden, some rash stroke play is taking place right here. The 4th wicket is down.
Yasser didn't learn his lesson. He had a couple of near misses, and he still was adamant to play the ball in the air. And this time it went catchable height. And if one person, you can bet on it that he won't drop that, that will be Nosh Kenjige. He was at the right place at the right time. And look at that, a very, very soft dismissal, you have to say, and a disappointed one from Yasser. He's a much better player than what he showed today in this little innings, and he would not want to see this innings again. Letting his side down badly here. 4 wickets down, and the slump is well and truly on after a very good opening partnership. It's now 92 for 4.
So a rash of bad shots, it has to be said, and I don't know that they'd be very happy with that stroke play, the Masters Cricket Club. An excellent opening partnership, but that opening partnership that was essentially setting the table for what you thought would be a launch toward the back end. That opening partnership, 69 runs, so that sets you a very good platform. But then all of a sudden they've lost a heap of wickets. They're now 92 for 4.
From 83 for 1 to 92 within 9 runs. They've lost 3 main players. And now Jonathan Carter is in. A lot rest on him as well. After Rajdeep Darbar in the top of the order, Jonathan Carter is the one who's in the middle like a glue. Keeps the inning together and then provides the finishing touches towards the end. He can be really explosive. But I think it's just about time to do a little bit of rebuilding, having lost 3 quick wickets.
Certainly want rebuilding. You want the scoreboard to keep ticking, so you certainly want to pick up as many singles as you can, or maybe if you have the opportunity to turn singles into doubles, you do that. But you mentioned Jonathan Carter and how explosive he can be. Former West Indies middle order batter. but you expect that he would know how to sort of shepherd the innings from here. And he will know that you don't just come out swinging wildly, because 92 for 4 can easily turn into 105 for 8.
That's the man with the golden arm. It's very difficult to keep him out of the game. Nosh Kenjige. Yeah, but in different formats of the game, Brian, rebuilding in T20 cricket has a complete different meaning.
You're absolutely
right. It does
right
not mean to just drop anchor and forget about scoring.
Absorb 3 or 4 maidens.
Rebuilding here is just rotate the strike, keep
Yes.
the ball along the ground, but make use of
100%.
every ball. At least get a single, run hard. If you can force an error from the fielders, and then capitalize if any bad delivery come along. So
I 100% agree with you. Nosh Kenjige, just such a wily bowler. None for 8. And again, he came in with, I believe, that he bowled the 3rd or the 5th over of the inning, still inside the power play. Bowled so beautifully. Tosses the ball up sometimes pushes it through. The matchup for me that is going to be interesting to watch is to see how Jonathan Carter, left-handed batter, and Kenjige, of course, if he turns it, it's turning it into the lefty. So being able to see how that plays itself out is going to be an interesting byplay.
and how his stocks has risen in the last 6 months. Kenjige has been a good player for quite some time, but his stocks has risen dramatically over the last 6 months. Those performances in Major League Cricket, and then followed it up in minor league in the most crunch situation. He was there for his team and ended up on the winning side. So that is something that he'll really benefit from, and I think the world of franchise cricket around the world, I mean, the doors are starting to open for him. That's such a wonderful story.
He has worked in obscurity, relative obscurity, for such a long time in the USA cricket scene, again, representing the US for a number of years. But it's good to see somebody like him who has put in the work and who's brilliant in the field, enterprising with the bat, and really lethal with the ball. Good to see his efforts being rewarded.
Any captain's delight.
Yes.
Look at that. He bowled that one from way behind the popping crease.
Yes.
That is one of his tricks.
Yes.
Very canny operator.
And if we can see that again, look at this. Look where he delivers this ball from. From well behind the popping crease, probably a good 3 or so yards behind the popping crease. That's another thing that he does so effectively that just changes the conversation and keeps the batters on their toes. That is the end of over number 14, 96 for 4.
Once again, that crucial phase of the innings, over number 7 to 14, doing the damage for the batting team. Now with 4 down, only 6 to go. What they can do, they can have a clear plan of where they want to end up this innings. They cannot just bat and see where they get. I mean, they have to have a plan. 150 should be a bare minimum from here.
Oh my goodness, yes.
But if they don't lose any wicket and they get into the final 2 overs with these 2 intact and set, probably from there we've seen teams can score 28-30 runs in 2 overs if it works in their favor with 2 set batters.
And bearing in mind, again, this is a very small ground. At least the straight boundaries are. So the opportunity is there to score big. And I think that's evidence of the fact that you've seen them go back to the strike bowler, Pankaj Rao, 2 overs so far. See how he does here. Pankaj Rao, 2 overs. Make that 2.1 after that first delivery. Conceded 19 runs, 10 of them coming from the first over, and of course 9 coming from the second. But it's evidence of the fact that even though the spinners have done really well, this stage of the innings, you're probably wanting to go back to Pankaj Rao for his 2 here, and then Rashilu Garkar still has a couple left.
Jonathan Carter wouldn't mind some pace on the ball to get his innings started. Like a lot of Caribbean players, they would love pace on the ball.
I was about to say, I feel a Caribbean comment coming. Look, we are wonderful cricketers. We're not always the best players of spin.
To start off, at least.
To start off, yes. Yeah, we get set first with pace. You want the ball coming on. And then after that, you can make those adjustments.
But there have been some great players of spin from Caribbean, and I just cannot think beyond the great Brian Lara.
Brian Charles Lara.
I'll have a story, and it's going around these days. We'll hold on to that for a minute, because this is a stunning blow. Just use of the feet and just timed it. Never looked to hit it hard, and it carried all the way towards that short boundary.
Effortless. Look at this. Just skipping down the track. Pankaj Rao again bowling that short of length tap delivery. Stock ball is the short of length delivery. Here's the batter. Here he comes. Garanshu Sharma just to skip down the wicket to meet that ball on the half volley and just serves it. Not over hitting it. Really just a lofted on drive is what that was. And it carries all the way for 6. Of course, the 100 coming up with that stroke too. So 3 delivers into over number 15.
In the air, won't carry to the fielder. Just a single.
Yeah, Nitish Kumar, one of the safest pair of hands on the field anywhere. So you talk about 150 being the minimum. 150, my goodness, would absolutely be the minimum. They score at 9 and over from here. They get to 152. I would imagine that they'd be looking probably for 10 and over at a minimum. 10 and over from here gets them to 157. It feels like the par score on this ground is about 175 to 185.
Yeah, I agree with you, Brian, especially the first game of the day when the wicket is nice and fresh. It does get a little tired towards the end of the day. But, yeah, that's 175. And it is still possible if these two can bat for any length of time. Just the one delivery to go in over number 15, 105 for 4.
Bearing in mind, though, because what it does, you're at the back end of the innings, happy hour as we used to call it. You have batters like Bhaskar Yadram who can come in and wield a pretty long handle, and there are opportunities to score quickly down the lineup. So you're still not out of the woods yet. You're going to have to be careful. Interesting, by the way, I just noticed that the captain, Calvin Savage, is not yet bowled. I just noticed that.
Yeah, and Hamza Tariq has come up to the stumps to stop them advancing against Pankaj. And that meant he stayed in the crease to get a single. 15 overs done and dusted. 107 for 4. Gonna come here.
Sir.
Good job, Brian. Thank you.
So 15 gone, it's 106 for 4. Welcome Shaw Faisal. We're down to the last 30 balls. And the big question is, Bhaskar Yadram is still to come. Garanshu Sharma, Jonathan Carter out in the middle. And they're going at just over 7 runs and over. Welcome to the last 5.
Yeah, action-packed 5 overs expected. Like Brian was just saying. Yeah, the last 5 overs could be full of action, like Brian was just saying. The likes of Bhaskar Yadram still waiting in the wings. Jonathan Carter in the middle. He's had a few deliveries, so he's given himself that chance where he can launch really big.
So Gomel comes into the attack. Starts pretty well. We've seen a couple of good innings from Garanshu Sharma. And we coming to 29 balls. Carter and Goranshu out in the middle. We saw in the quarterfinal a big partnership between the spear. And the question is, with 29 balls remaining, Bhaskar Yadram still to come. Lofted into the onside. Has he gotten enough bat on this one? Well, enough bat to go for 6. And that's another big strike from Goranshu Sharma.
Yeah, the fielder was lining it up. He did catch it eventually, but a couple of yards outside the fence. Just cleared that front leg and really smashed it. Really got a good piece on it. Today is not as windy as it was yesterday. Hamza Tariq has been sharp behind the stumps. But yeah, that's a good start to the over. That maximum will set him up nicely to make it into a big over.
We saw Goranshu Sharma in the quarterfinal. Shah Faisal getting 48. And with 27 balls remaining, the winner plays Kingsmen. Into the offside, fielder will come in. Oh, allows the ball to drop in front of him. Hasn't he had a lot of time there?
Yeah, that's Sujit Gowda. He's caught one and he's dropped one, so probably low on confidence. He didn't go for the catch. And that is not good fielding because, like Lenny said, look at that. He had a long time to get into the ball. That ball stayed in the air for quite a while. But low in confidence. He just didn't want to concede the boundary.
So 26 balls still to be bowled. Over gone for 7 from Gomel. The ball cracked into the offside. There is no run. Jonathan Carter has played at the international level. Shah Faisal.
I've seen him play some good innings in minor league and other local cricket here in US. This one again looking for that big one. Good over so far. Other than that 1/6, it's what 3 dot deliveries, 4 dot deliveries. So in the end, despite going for that maximum, he closed the over out with just 7 off it. 113 for 4.
So Kenjige has been given the 17. 3 overs, no bid, none for 11 when the team is going as 7 runs on over. Shah Faisal.
I think it was a plan that the Masters Cricket Club, they didn't want to give him any wickets, so they didn't take any chances against him as well. That meant he's bowled 3 mean overs, but at this stage with only 4 to go and a decent over the previous one, there's no option for these two but to go after him. This will be a good contest.
Oh, that's a good strike from Goranshu Sharma on the short side of the boundary. Picks out the man at long on. And Sharma gone for 18. It's 113 for 5.
Yeah, the pressure was building. Last over went pretty cheap there. And at the beginning of the over, taking a chance against the like of Kenjige. Not easy. Defeated him in flight. Although it was a small boundary, but it was caught well inside. And that is the end. And yet another wicket has gone. Look at that. He's reaching out for it. Got beaten in flight. Still decided to go through with the shot. And just caught a couple of yards inside that very small boundary towards long on. And that means that Masters Cricket, their innings is stumbling, and the momentum that they required in the last 5 overs not coming their way. 113 for 5.
So Bhaskar Yadram comes to the middle. Shah Faisal, 23 balls remaining. Wickets certainly not the most important thing in T20 cricket. And we come down to 23 ball. They've lost 5. But with 23 ball, their biggest hitter, Bhaskar Yadram, has arrived.
for the umpire, and now this is a big blow, Lenny.
Yeah, all of a sudden, Kenjige is on a hat-trick. He has taken out Goranshu Sharma. And the man who was expected to give them a big lift towards the end, Bhaskar Yadram, struck on the back foot, I think. Yeah, back foot beneath the roll. And that's a confident one. Kenjige is on a hat-trick. Bhaskar Yadram goes without scoring.
Cannot get an easier decision than this as an umpire. Look at this, how far back he was. And that back leg under the roll was striking the middle stump 2/3 of the way up. And Bhaskar Yadram will have no complaints with that. A quiet exit for him, for the big man. Stage was set for him, but not to be. And that has left his team almost reeling, and it's all up to Jonathan Carter to see if he can get them up to that 150, which was looking a certainty like 10 minutes ago. But 3 wickets have really fallen quickly.
So Soptai comes to the middle. And Shaw Faisal, their lowest score batting first has been 159 against the Atlanta Fire. And so you look at 113 for 6. This is really their lowest effort batting first.
Once again, similar delivery from Kenjige, firing the ball into the stumps, looking for those pads early doors with the hat-trick delivery. But a single is a good result because now Jonathan Carter is on strike and a lot rest on him now. He's faced 9 deliveries for 4 runs, so he's had a bit of a sighter. But now his job is very, very delicate because he can't afford to get out himself, and still he needs to look to find boundaries in the remaining 21 deliveries.
So Kenjige with a couple of strikes in this over. He's only given up 1. Tugged into the onside from Jonathan Carter. You get the feeling that Raiders Unlimited has really come back. And you look at 115 on the board with 20 balls remaining. They're in control at this phase of the game.
Absolutely. And wickets, 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 because they didn't allow a partnership to develop after that very good first wicket partnership. Remember, they were 82 for 1, I think, at one stage, 83 for 1. That collapse has seen them lose 5 wickets over 27 runs, and that has really sucked the life out of their middle order. Now they're struggling for that big finishing effort because they've got they've lost 2 wickets too many.
So a good over comes to an end. An excellent over actually comes to an end. 17 gone. It's 115 for 6.
$116. 17. $18 deliveries to go. What can Jonathan Carter do? He's the main man, and like Lenny was saying, 159 was their lowest score, which was good enough to beat the home side, Atlanta Fire, in the quarterfinal. They do have some resources with the ball, but this is a small boundary and a good pitch. They would need a total. Good delivery, big shot. The finger's gone up. The slow raise of the finger, and the fate was decided for Jonathan Carter. You could tell by his body language. He's resigned to the fact that he got beaten in the air and once again was caught plumb in front halfway through the crease. And that is another easy decision. But the collapse getting bad through worse from Masters.
So Gomel into the 18th over has taken out Jonathan Carter. Look at that, playing off the back foot, caught in front, and so another wicket goes down. Not good hit for Masters at a time in which they probably want to end the innings with some bit of momentum. Well, that momentum has been shifted to Raiders. Take a look at this one. Another wicket goes down, and this time off the bowling of Gomel. 115 for 7. So we've seen very good bowling from Sunny Patel, 3 for 27, 2 for 13 from Kenjige. But these last wickets towards the end, Shah Faisal, very important.
You're talking about the collapse, how spectacular this has been. The wickets have fallen in clumps here. What was that partnership? 64 for the first wicket, 69 rather. Another one goes past the outside edge, and they were 113 for 4 and now 115 for 7. Now the 3 wickets falling with just 2 runs added. At one stage when they were 83 for 2, they became 92 for 5. Big shout, still appealing. Hamza Tariq cannot believe it.
So Stephen Wigg has come out to the middle with 15 balls remaining. We've seen another quality over from Gomel. He's picked up one. He's followed up with a couple of dot balls, including an appeal.
This one has burst through his hands, but the batters are confused. They decided not to go for that run. So in 2 different phases of the innings, they've lost 3 wickets for 9 runs and 3 wickets for 2 runs. That is some collapse. Change up delivery there. Low arm, just angling it away from the right-hander. They don't know where the next run is coming from. Such is a stranglehold.
So ball punched into the offside from Stephen Wigg. A quality over comes to an end from Gomel. 18 gone. It's 116 for 7. Five from him, 5 from Sachin.
116 for 7 with 2 to go, and despite having a decent bowling lineup, the Masters Cricket Club, and having the likes of Noman Iftikhar and Sachin in their bowling lineup, who both have had good tournament, I still think 116 is very light. Akhilesh Bodegam showing his versatility. He bowled in the power play, he bowled in the middle overs, and now he's bowling the all-important penultimate over. Changes his pace, changes his trajectory. Very, very clever operator.
Yes, Shah Faisal, even with 10 balls remaining, if you can find some boundaries there, it will still add up. But when runs coming by by single, we saw quality over from Akash Gomel. And in fact, he's been so economical. Gomel, 2 overs no min, 1 for 8. We saw 3 for 27 from Sunny Patel. And Akhilesh Bodeguma started pretty well.
Yeah, you complained about getting a single. How about having a dot ball when only 10-9 to go now? That really shows the kind of pressure that they're under. They've lost their way completely.
And Shaw Faisal, is that a psychological advantage for this team when they've taken out the likes of Bhaskar Yadram, Goranshu Sharma and Jonathan Carter in the space of 6 balls?
It will. Definitely it will affect them, and in a good way, because if you take out 3 big players in a crunch situation where the game could have gone either way at that stage. Remember, with last 5 overs to go, they were 106 for 4. And from there, we've seen a T20 innings can really climb and get up to 170, 180. This one has gone completely the opposite direction.
So it's 118 for 7 balls remaining. Masters will have to come up with a plan to defend their lowest score of the series.
Oh, this time it's in the arc. Use of the feet enabled him to get close enough, and Akhilesh for once providing the length. And that maximum is very much needed. But is it too little, too late? We'll only find out.
Yeah, big strike here from Stephen Wigg. And look at that, advancing down, using the opportunity to really score on the shorter side of this facility. And that has gone for a maximum. It's 124, Shaw Faisal. We come into the last 6 balls. I made mention this is their lowest score, batting at the top of the order. They will have to bring out a big bowling performance. But you get the feeling 124 is already posted and they'll have a chance to advance with 6 balls remaining.
I'll take you to one of the other games that was played here on this field. 140 were scored by Samparmi, and Atlanta Fire could only get there on the last ball of the innings, and they needed 4 runs where Zia Shahzad hit a 6. So try and strike a couple big ones, get as close to that 140 as you can, and then give yourself a chance.
So Gomel will bowl the final over. Starts pretty well, and 5 balls remaining here. So Sobtai on strike.
Yes, Sobtai needs to get Wigg on strike. This will go to a long off, and that's the right move. And Wigg stretching his shoulders. He's already got a big one away. Still eyeing that straight boundary. Just about 55 yards, I think.
Now let's talk about Raiders Unlimited. Would they be very happy with the way things have gone in the last 4 overs, Shaw Faisal?
Absolutely. Absolutely delighted. They'd be absolutely delighted after they got that first wicket after a good partnership. The informed man of the tournament, Rajdeep Darbar, got off to a good start. But since then, the Raiders have made a stunning comeback. And they've really controlled this innings from over number 9 or 10 onwards, I think, for memory. And they haven't looked back since. Carrying huge momentum into the innings break. An odd extra here and there, probably they won't really mind that.
And Shaw Faisal, can I say something? That's the first extra of the game, I think. That's the first wide.
Again, that shows their control, their discipline, even when they were put under pressure. They didn't give any freebies. They didn't give any free runs, any free deliveries. This one is straight. Long on will come around. Bad bounce, but he put his body behind. 2 runs will still be a good result for Raiders, because the boundaries that the Masters were looking for, they couldn't get it in the final over. This is a sensational effort with the ball, and despite a few lapses in the field, Raider would be very, very happy to have restricted Masters to only 129.
Yes, Shaw Faisal, we've seen some good bowling towards the end. And that's the look of the batting card. We saw a couple of big knocks at the top of the order. Rajdeep Darbar got 46. Danish Patel got 38. But a very hollow middle here, Shaw Faisal. And that might have been very, very good bowling. We'll take a look at the bowling card.
Excellent effort with the ball. And like I said, there was a few lapses in the field. No less than 3 drop catches. But Pankaj Rao was good. He may seem expensive, but he bowled when the pressure was on. Akhilesh Bodagam, 1 for 30, various stages of the innings. Wickets for Sunny Patel, 3 for 27. Nosh Kenjike was once again sensational, 2 for 13, picking up crucial wickets and not giving away any runs at all. That was all in all a perfect bowling performance. And look at those extras, just the 2 extras in the entire innings.
So match summary so far. The news is 129 posted by the Masters, having winning the toss, electing to bat. Darbar at the top of the heap for the 6. He continues to be the prolific scorer of the tournament. So Raiders Unlimited will need 130 from 20 overs, asking 6.50. We'll resume when cricket does so in about 15 minutes times. With the news, Raiders will need 130 to win. See you soon. So we want to welcome you back. Semi-final game, 130 is the target. Two openers out in the middle. Looks like Akash Gomel and Nitish Kumar with 100 in this series already. Welcome back, Ryan Davis, as we come down with 130 to win.
Thanks, Lenny. Masters have to be a little bit disappointed after their run of form by setting totals and then defending it. The 130 on this ground. As the sun comes out, the outfield is now drier. The batters are going to have a better chance of scoring boundaries as the grass dried out. So that 130 just becomes an even taller task to defend than it would have been earlier on today.
So Gomel will be on strike. And Ryan, we saw the pitch was rolled. And I've always been told, how do you decide if during the halfway stage it was a light roller or a heavy roller? And I was told that it all depends who is on the roller.
We're not going to tell Mr. Plummer that, who's the groundsman.
So Noman Iftikhar has been given the ball. And the irony here for the Masters team, Brian, is that they have scored their lowest score batting first in the series.
Yes, sitting against the trend from what we've seen in the opening 5 matches for this team. But if it's one man that can get a wicket or two, it's their strike bowler Iftikhar. He's been fantastic throughout this tournament, averaging just about 2 wickets per inning. And when you only have 4 overs to bowl, that is quite remarkable.
So we've seen the likes of Noman Iftikhar, Stephen Wicks, Sachin Mailavarapu, Yasser Mohammed, Jonathan Carter.
But more importantly, Lenny, with 129 on the board, 130 to chase, these batters can now manage the game from ball 1. The expectations now goes on to the fielding side because 130 generally means something special or out of the ordinary has to come from the fielding side to prevent the batting side from reaching that total. Most batting sides want to get at least to 160. That's the average for a T20 game. 130 well below par.
So Noman Iftikhar gets things on the way here, and so a single to Gomel. Couple of 30s for him in this series. We saw 33 against UMMC, and also we saw 31 against the Atlanta Lightning. So the winner of this game will take on Kingsmen, powerfully put together Kingsmen that includes the likes of Sharjeel Khan and Martin Guptill. They were brutal yesterday on their opponent to get into the final. And now Nitish Kumar, he comes into strike with already 100 in this series, 1 of 3. Good take from the keeper, ball sliding down the leg side from Rajdeep Darbar. He saved 5 wides.
Just want to give people some context about that 100 by Kumar. He scored about 105, 104 I believe it was, but the total itself was 140, 150. Understand the percentage of runs that he scored in that innings gives you a snippet, Lenny, of what he's capable of and turning a game on its side with his stroke play.
Yes, Ryan Davis, and you're right on that. Today might not be the day when you're targeting 100. Today you want to...
Yes, you want to manage this game. And as the 2 openers, you want to anchor the innings, put the pressure back on the bowling side. Do not allow wickets because that's all the bowling side needs right now, wickets.
So we've seen a couple of times Noman Iftikhar certainly not happy with the run-up.
That is a huge factor for medium, fast-medium bowlers. Run-up is all about rhythm. That's where you generate your pace, and if you're second-guessing yourself, Lenny, coming in towards the wicket, that's going to seriously affect your accuracy and the pace of the ball.
Lovely shot through the offside, and Kumar doesn't have to move. That's gone away for 4.
A man in form picked that ball up right out of the bowler's hands, got himself in the position. Safe shot, yes, it was in the air. He knows his field. Bangs it in short, gets in position and just punches it through cover. And that's what we've learned to expect from Kumar throughout this tournament.
It's a top quality batter. He's played at the Canadian international level for several years. I've had stint in the Caribbean playing regional cricket. He's a top quality player, and he's always been among the runs in these franchise tournaments. Now look at that, driving into the offside. Can't score, but you see the intent from Nitish Kumar to play proper cricketing shot. He's already shown us his class.
With 219 runs before this innings under his belt, you talk about confidence and technique. Lenny, you add those two together, that could be devastating.
And Ryan Davis, that you mentioned, 219 coming into this game. There have only been 3 players with over 200 runs in this series. Shayan Jahangir, his team has been knocked out. Darbar. And Nitish Kumar into the onside, looking for runs. Fielder will come around, can't prevent a couple of runs. And Kumar, fluent as ever, he picks up 2 more.
Just looking at the straight bat and the technique and the mindset of Kumar, understanding what's needed right now, prevent wickets, stay in the wicket, put the pressure back on the bowling side. But also, if they do come through this unscathed, there's a final to be played. You'll be well in, Nick, seeing a lot of deliveries. And Kumar, being the impact player that he is, can then maybe set the tone if they come through this.
And Ryan Davis, you've mentioned a word, impact player. Gajanan Singh is the impact player for this team, so he will come in at some point while he was not on the field, and that's one of the playing conditions of this tournament. So Kumar remains on 6. An over that has gone not too well here for Noman Iftikhar and the Masters team. Pulled away, skied into the onside, and more runs there for Kumar. And look at that, he picks up another boundary, another lovely shot from a short ball from Noman Iftikhar.
Well, the power play is in play, and Kumar, well aware of his field. He got way under it, Lenny, but it was enough and safe where there was no fielder. He has a deep mid wicket, and the regular mid-on just cannot get there in time. 4 more to Kumar, and an educated shot, let's call it, understanding his field. Yes, it was in the air for a long period of time, but there really was no risk.
So Sachin Mailavarapul, the left-arm spinner, will get a chance from the southern end of the ground. Ryan Davis at the end of 6. What's the kind of score that Masters would want to see at the end of 6 overs? How many wickets do you think they'll probably have to get to make an impact?
I think they have to get at least 3 wickets in the power play to put this Raiders team back on the back foot.
So Mailavarapul starts pretty well, a lot of turn on that ball, but Gomel picks up a single and brings Nitish Kumar onto strike.
Glad you brought that up, Lenny, the turn of the ball. If there is a bowler right now that can turn things on the side for the Masters team, is this man. Left arm orthodox, deadly accurate, and he's tweaking the ball now. This pitch is taking some turn, and these opening batters so adept at medium pacers and fast medium bowlers. Now they have to battle with a spinner from ball 1.
And Ryan, you get the feeling all is required from this batting team, Nitish Kumar, Gomel, and the others to come, if they come, is to really run a ball game.
I believe so. That's what's needed. This batting team understands what 130 is all about, what it looks like over 20 overs. And the singles and twos will be in their repertoire.
And you get a feeling, Ryan, that they're batting last and conditions has vastly improved from when we started at 9:40 this morning. I think ideal conditions, the pitch would have gotten some bit of rolling, that 7-minute rolling. And the pressure will be on the Masters team to really make an impression here as we're into the second over. They're off to a good start. We've seen a couple of crisp looking shots from Nitish Kumar already. He's a top player. Into the onside with all the ease in the world. It's a run and retrieve. 4 more runs for Nitish Kumar.
Well, bowlers have to be so exact with Kumar in this sort of form. And Myla Varapu, usually so good, this time just drifting into that wheelhouse of Kumar. Turned into a half volley, got to the pitch of the ball. It's going to have to rock Kumar back on the back foot and have Kumar score heavily back there.
Oh, look at this. Short and pulled into the onside. Easy picking here for Nitish Kumar. And he's taking this one out of the playing area.
Lenny, let's make it very clear. Yes, you have to rock him back onto the back foot, but you can't bowl long hops. Can't set the field for bad bowling. And Kumar getting a maximum. Rocking back onto that back foot, but it was just way too short by the left-arm orthodox bowler. And into the trees it goes.
So 2 of us gone. They're batting at 25 for no loss. So welcome back. 2 overs gone, and they're off to a quick start. They don't necessarily need a quick start, but they've posted 25 in just 2 overs.
Well, you still have to have the attitude in batting in T20 cricket. You have to get that mentality of if there is a bad ball, you have to go after it because of the power play scenario where fielders are in. That's where the gap is over the infield. So batters still have to take advantage of those field placements and score when there is a ball to be hit.
So early change, as you would expect. Ryan Davis, Bhaskar Yadram given the ball. And so a bit of discussion there with 2 of the players. We've seen an over from Noman Iftikhar.
Speaking about discussions, I had a discussion with Yadram's delivery. He sort of sometimes bowls off with that wrong foot. Looks like the old Safraz Nawaz from Pakistan. And let's see if Yadram will give us one of those deliveries off the right foot.
So having a chat with Stephen Wigg, I'm pretty sure that Stephen Wigg will be factored in quite early into this bowling attack. So that's the man there, Bhaskar Yadram, top all-rounder, didn't really get going today. And so Akash Gomel will be the man on strike. And Nitish Kumar, probably a change of equipment. So the action continues. Oh, ball them. So Bhaskar Yadram has made an early impression. He's taken out Akash Gomel off his first ball.
Well, if his captain or coach could ask him to bowl the next 23 deliveries exactly like that, that'll get the Masters back in the game. Hit the top of off, Lenny. That's where medium pace is supposed to live. And he hit his straps from ball 1. Here's the run up, and here's that delivery off the right foot like we talked about. And he just hit the seam and straightened. And it was enough to get the prize wicket. Here it is again. Yadram from ball 1. Just short of a length. Corridor of uncertainty. Top of off. Can you do that 23 more times?
So a lovely start to his bowling spell from Bhaskar Yadram. And not too long ago, Ryan Davis, I've asked you the question how many wickets they'll probably want in the power plays. That's one of 3 that you had suggested. And so Newman comes to the middle, 25 for 1. Sujit Gowda, another quality player. And he comes out here with 105 needed from 107 balls. So the wind has picked up. We saw still part for most of the day.
Then I just want to go back to Gomel. Only 80 plus runs over 5 innings. Never really got going in this tournament. And you can't really fault him. It's a beauty of a delivery by Yadram, but someone who's in good nick would have gotten in line with the delivery and squirted away to the offside.
So Bhaskar Yadram, here he is to Sujit Gowda. Oh, brilliant ball, goes through to Rajdeep Darbar, so he's picked a spot.
And he's hitting that seam with regularity. 2 in a row now. Here's Yadram, wrong foot and all, doesn't matter. On or just about off, hitting the seam, going away from the right-hander. As they say in any walk of life, you beauty.
So a good start to his bowling spell, Bhaskar Yadram. Brilliant start, perfect start. When the ball is thrown into your hands to start your bowling attack, the captain expects you to make early impressions. He has done that. He has taken out Gomel. And ball eased into the offside. So 129 posted by Masters. In reply, Raiders Unlimited, they're batting at 26 for 1. They've lost Gomel. But we've seen how solid Nitish Kumar has been in this series, and he continues to look a player apart from the rest. In a miss, Bhaskar Yadram has really produced a good spell here for the Masters.
Well, if you close your eyes, you'll feel like you're in England. Don't tell that to Yadram. He's hitting that ball right on about off stump, and it's seaming away like he was in Lords. There he is, full of confidence now, and he hits that spot again, Lenny. This time pitched up just a little bit further. But the batter, who's been beaten for the last 2 deliveries, just can't seem to pick it up.
So Nitish Kumar, 34 times he's represented Canada at the international level, spread across 18 one international, another 16 T20 international. And of course he's played first class cricket, made mention of being in the Caribbean for some time. Eased into the onside, and they'll come back. Well, they were thinking of coming back for 2, but man comes around, makes a very good save and a couple of runs in this over.
More importantly, Kumar gets off strike, with Yadram just being on a spot. Gives a chance for Gowda to take a look.
So for all our viewers, want to let you know that the winner here will take on the Kingsmen for the championship game. That comes up at 2:30. And so this is that big semi-final before the championship game. Kingsmen waiting in the wings. Into the offside, can't score. Bhaskar Yadram has completed a very good over. And after 3, it's 28 for 1. So welcome back, 3 overs gone, 28 for 1. Sachin Mailavarapu gives way to Stephen Wigg, a left arm seamer. Ryan Davis, you've seen a bit of him. What you make of Stephen Wigg, and how can he produce an impact here for the Masters?
Lenny, he has that natural in-swing ability to the right-hander. So again, but he has the one that straightens as well, that continues on just past the off stump. He's going to have to be so exact against Kumar. I wish I can give you a science, but he's going to have to hit just outside off stump and have that natural in-swing ability to the right-hander. Give Kumar some thought, some second guessing at the wicket, and have the occasional one straighten and go through to the keeper. But with Kumar, he can adjust, come further across to a middle stump guard, and then start to pick off the left-hander going through mid-wicket. So we're still very much in the power play, and Kumar is holding all of the cards 22 off of 10. And again, because they're chasing just 129, they are in no hurry. Consolidating wickets at the moment is priority.
So into the offside, and Ryan Davis, we've had a super production team to work with. Roddy Lalman, our director, our good friends, the likes of Richard and Sean, yourself, and the entire commentary team. But we'll have to take the opportunity to say happy birthday to one of our crew member who's celebrating his birthday tomorrow. And so I want to say happy birthday on live here to Perron Deru. I hope you will have a wonderful day tomorrow.
The man in mid-wicket, if the 6 comes this way, Pavon is going to get all the action.
So Stephen Way continues. Off the slice, and that has gone away for 4 from Sujit Gowda.
If you're going to go big. And that's what Gowda did. Ball just outside off stump, remembering there's no third man, no slip. So he plays through the line of the ball. Can't say it was a bad delivery. That's the line, but maybe not the length, Lenny. Want to pitch that up just a fraction higher or further up. And away she went over third man for 4.
So 98 to win from 100 balls. They're up to 32 for 1. Ryan, a foot in the final, you would say, for the Raiders?
Let's call it the shoelaces for now. Maybe not a foot just yet. After 6 overs, we'll reassess. But with Kumar there, yes, very much within the discussion of getting that foot.
Oh, that's a lovely commanding shot, racing away to long on. Big chase here for Bhaskar Yadram. He does well to keep the ball in play, but a couple of good shots from Sujit Gowda, and things have gone up to 34 for 1.
Well, if Gowda can complement Kumar by just living in the V, picking off the bowlers, the good balls getting singles, the bad balls getting 4s, I think this total for the Raiders, here's that replay, back past the bowler, that authoritative drive past the bowlers, always a message.
So ball eased into the offside. Yasser Mohammed comes around. We saw last year, Ryan, the finalists were the Atlanta Lightning and Stallions X. Stallions X, that brand has now been renamed to the Kingsmen brand. And so the Kingsmen find themselves in another final in which they won last year, led by Shaya.
He pushed it firmly back to mid-off. Yes, it was a dot ball, but a loud dot ball. It shows the sort of nick that Kumar is in. He's getting in position, picking up the ball early.
So this over's gone for 8 so far. And Nitish Kumar, we've seen a couple of sparkling shots from this man. Oh, look at that. Commanding shot straight down the ground. What a safe place to go. And he's picked out long off, long on, and he's bisected that gap. That's 4 more runs for Nitish Kumar.
Shot of the day. Onto the back foot, where you wanted to keep Kumar. He didn't go square of the wicket. Back past the bowler. I'll tell you what, Lenny. It's so hard to teach a shot like that. It takes someone in tremendous form to pull that shot off. So there was some pressure on Yadram before, but now after that over and the way Kumar has been playing shots, more pressure on the big seamer. Got that wicket, Lenny, in the last over, and now has to deliver again just to keep his side in it.
So they need 91 from 96. Bhaskar Yadram given another over. Oh, has he taken the catch? If he has, it's a brilliant catch from Rajdeep Darbar to his right. And Sajid Gowda is gone. It's 39 for 2. Bhaskar strikes again.
Well, Yadram really does think he's in England. Yet again, pitching the ball on just about off stump in that corridor of uncertainty, but he's getting some seam action, Lenny. It's leaving the right-hander. He bowled the last batter, neck and crop, top of off. This time, as we see on the replay, the big man comes in and delivers corridor of uncertainty again. Batter comes forward, but it leaves him at the last minute enough to get the edge, and a great catch behind the stumps. And Yadram delivering. We talked about the pressure on him to deliver. He is delivering.
So 2 for 2 from Bhaskar Yadram. Gajanan Singh.
Here it is again, thick outside edge, one-handed grab. What a catch.
It's a lovely catch from Rajdeep Darbar. And that wicket-keeping glove. Ryan Davis, it does have a, between your thumb and your index finger, a bit of webbing.
Just like he planned it, right?
And that's where a lot of time that the ball ends up. Gajanan Singh comes to the middle, the impact player. Two classy men out in the middle, Nitish Kumar and Gajanan Singh, both with international experience. And they come in here because 91 to win from 95 balls. And Ryan Davis, we're coming to that number that you mentioned not too long ago. They want 3 or so wicket in the power plays. They've got 2 so far. 39 on the board.
They got 2 off of just 7 deliveries from Yadram. So much expectations of him with the bat. Didn't deliver today. Now takes the ball and tries to make amends.
So Gajanan Singh settles and waits. Here is Yadram. Peels off the outside edge, gets a single to get starting.
I feel like we're in the middle of a test match. Should we get 3 slips in a gully, Lenny? The way this man is hitting his straps on off stump, batters don't know if to come forward, if to go back. He's getting some seam action in this lovely swirly English weather, 60 degrees in Rydell, Georgia.
Yes, Ryan Davis, and the bowling will have to make up for that deficiency of probably falling about 50 or 60 runs short. And I say that because at the end of 10 Masters, they were batting at 80 for 1. At 80 for 1 after 10, you should have pushed on to probably 160, 170.
Patel and Darbar did their jobs. They set the foundation, they set the table, as they would say, for the middle order. But the middle order just couldn't come to grips with the big occasion. And credit to the Raiders for stepping up.
So Bhaskar Yadram, still a very quality over. And you look at Nitish Kumar and Ryan Davis, it still enforces the fact that you can still play correct and be a successful T20 player. Take an example from Nitish Kumar.
Taking advantage of the field, the power play. He stayed within his shape for all those boundaries. Didn't lose his shape, didn't throw the shoulders open. He kept a side-on view and punched the ball over the infield and scored heavily.
And Nitish Kumar, this run chase can really suit his style. More of a player who pushes the ball and really drives the ball, plays the ball very correctly into open spaces at time.
Tell you what, we always talk about wickets, but what does wickets do? It starts to halt that run rate. With Singh coming into the wicket now, he's going to need a couple of deliveries to get his eye in. And with Yadram just picking apart on or just about off stump, it's going to be really hard for the right-hander to get going.
Ryan Davis, you look at Nitish Kumar wearing number 10. How important is football jerseys, soccer jersey wearing the number 10?
I tell you what, if he can channel his inner Lionel Messi, we're not going to be here for very long. It's going to be another quick game, Lenny, just like you requested when I jump on the mic. Of course, Lionel Messi now in the United States of America, just south of here, about 8 hours drive, down in the Fort Lauderdale, Miami area.
So Yadram has gone pretty well in this over. Picked up the wicket of Sajid Gowda. Brilliant catch from Rajdeep Darbar. One of the best catch we've seen in the tournament. We've seen some exciting one. 40 for 2. Yadram will come into ball to Nitish Kumar. And the ball driven back to the bowler. Tidy over comes to an end. 5 gone. It's 40 for 2. Thank you. I gotta get some later on. Yeah, man. 5 gone. 40 for 2. 5 gone.
So welcome back to the Paramveer Sports Complex in Cartersville, Georgia. The Raiders Unlimited are batting, chasing down another 90 runs. They have 40 runs on the board. Looking at, I think, an undercooked total, Shah Faisal. 129 was never going to be something that is challenging, but they're doing well, fighting back here. The Masters Cricket Club, Bhaskar Yadram has taken the 2 wickets to fall so far. Brilliant bowling from the young all-rounder. 2 overs, 2 for 3 from him. And now bowling a lofted drive over the top of extra cover. That is a long 6 by Gajanan Singh. The bowler Shoaib Tai greeted rudely to start his first ball.
Yeah, Gajanan is in good nick coming into this tournament. Got underneath it. There was a fielder, but he took him on. These modern day batters, they are not really scared to take on the boundary riders. And Gajanan cleared him with ease.
Slower through the air this time. Good change of pace. So Shoaib Tai immediately met with aggression. Gajanan Singh is a naturally aggressive batter, and he likes to be on top of the bowling. And I think you saw evidence of it here. As here's the next delivery, working this into the mid-wicket area for a single.
And you just started out by saying it is an undercooked total. It is indeed. And at one stage when we were on, I think we were talking about 159 being the bare minimum.
Yes.
And the kind of platform. So which means that they can take heart from the fact that they've taken 2 wickets already. If they can strike quickly, like 2 or 3 wickets in quick intervals, then they can make this 130 look a lot more. But wickets need to come. There's no doubt about it.
The other element is that even though, again, I think we both agree that this is an undercooked total, there are runs on the board in a semi-final. And so in a semi-final, everything gets more heightened. And so maybe 130 might seem to be 150 or 160.
Especially if a couple of wickets fall in quick succession. You know, the panic will set in. And the nervousness of a knockout game.
That's exactly right. Now, what you have to tell yourself, if you are the... In fact, I'll ask you. What do you tell yourself if you're the Raiders Unlimited? 48 for 2. You have 1 ball remaining here in over number 6. So you're 1 more delivery away from being out of the power play. How do you approach things going forward with a scoring rate, required rate of 5.79?
Gajanan has played this through offside. Couldn't pierce the field, though. I would just tell myself that we're 1 good partnership away from victory. Forget about the run rate. We just, 2 of us need to stay there. Run rate is not a problem in this equation at all.
Fantastic. In fact, I'll ask you to say more after this. 48 for 2 after 6.
Just the 2 wickets down, and Yadram is the one who provided both the breakthroughs. But these two have been together for a while now. Gajanan 8 of just 5 deliveries, but Nitish Kumar is the key, who's been there since the beginning. But Yadram providing the breakthroughs, and the second dismissal was a spectacular one. A one-handed grab by Rajdeep Darbar behind the stumps, low and away to his right. One of the very best catches that you'd ever wish to see from a wicketkeeper. That did give his team some hope as we watch Wig.
Stephen Wig back into the attack. A bit of a risky shot there by Nitish Kumar, intentionally guiding it behind point, but almost guided it into the hands of Yasir Mohammed at backward point.
Yeah, Yasir Mohammed was in action himself. There you go, pretty close to him. And at this stage, if anyone should be thinking what went wrong, it should be Yasir Mohammed, the kind of innings he played. 2 near misses and still hit the 3rd one in the air. Pretty much similar phase of the game, or probably further advanced, like 3 or 4 overs, 11-12 over mark. And that is the phase where they lost 3 quick wickets for the addition of 9 runs.
He's a good young player, Yasir Mohammed, and I think he'll take to heart, especially when he's able to go back and take a look at what happened in this game. Short, that did not get, in fact, it rushed onto him. A good, sharp.
Nasty hit. He's putting the same helmet back on. We'll have to see if he did get hit on a helmet. The protocols will suggest that he need to change that helmet immediately to go with going through a concussion test with the physio or the medical staff. Just stretching out. I don't know if he got hit close to the shoulder. We'll have another look.
I will say, looking at it live, I thought it was a shoulder, but the fact that he immediately took the helmet off suggests that it might have ricocheted off of the shoulder onto the helmet. Didn't seem like he was flush on the helmet. And I guess in some ways, while that won't make his shoulder feel better, he will be lucky to not have taken that hit directly onto the helmet.
But even internationally, when you do get hit on a helmet, no matter if it's a ricochet from the shoulder, that helmet needs to be replaced. Nothing else as such, and didn't get a chance to have a look at it again as well. But good thing is Gajanand is ready.
And you know that his response is going to be aggression. Another short delivery from Stephen Wig, and Gajanand Singh looking to pull that one away in the deep. Has to be careful though. That fielder short fine leg is there. That fielder deep backward square leg is also there. So again, in fact, this might be a good time for me to ask you to finish your thought about how to approach the batting side from this point on. You only need 5.86 runs and over. In fact, after that dot ball, 5.93 runs and over, but still less than a run a ball. Flashing and missing. So do you think, maybe a follow-up question would be, is the approach that Gajanand Singh taking now consistent with winning this match and going on to the finals tonight or this afternoon?
First of all, I think he got rattled with that hit, because then he's flashed at 2. He needs to just calm down. And again, if they keep losing wickets, that run rate will go up, the required run rate, and it will keep the opposition interested. So the only way to just dishearten them is not to give them any wicket. Gajanand once again living dangerously. That was very close to that fielder at cover. But shot a ball in this over from Gajanand Singh. I'm not sure that's what required, but this is how Gajanand Singh is seeing things. So what do we know about this game, hey?
A shot a ball is right. And that was Jonathan Carter at cover, former international player, not very far away from getting a chance to take a catch low into his right. Gajanand Singh essentially playing the way he always plays, very aggressive, and usually that is to your advantage. Similar type of shot, this time again piercing the gap. That's Bhaskar Yadram running around from long off, and a couple more. So despite being hit on the head and a bit of, maybe as you might have suggested, he was shaken up a little bit, You still get 4 runs from the over off of his bat, 1 from the bat of Nitish Kumar. So you still have 5 runs from the over so far. And in fact, that is the end of the over. So 53 for 2 is the score. With 7 overs gone, they need another 77 in 78 balls.
The approach that Gajaran Singh generally has, there's nothing wrong with that, to be positive and look for runs. But like they always say, just do not hit the ball at the catchable height and hit them in the gaps. No matter how hard you want to hit it, you can do that.
Yep.
But don't hit it at catchable height.
So it is Shoaib Ty to continue his first over win for 8 runs. Starts out here with a good delivery. Nitish Kumar, who I think from here is key. Nitish Kumar, 29 from 21, 4 fours and a 6. But he's the linchpin of their batting lineup. Certainly batting to come, but he will want Nitish Kumar to take control of things the way they are now. And I think you're seeing some evidence of him putting away, at least for the moment, the aggressive shots, a couple of dot balls to start here over number 8.
And the other thing that I think partnership is the key here, because as the match progresses, you know, the wicket will tire down, the ball gets older, becomes harder to come onto the bat, and especially new batters coming in, they would struggle. So it's the job of the two that are in, see them through.
That's exactly the case. Now, what you tell yourself if you are the Masters Cricket Club is that this is the big fish that we want. And that slash outside off stump will keep them interested. Nitish Kumar that time changing the length, meaning came down the wicket and caused Shoaib Ty to pull his length back. So an interesting contest here. Down the leg side. In fact, it does come off. In fact, it doesn't come off anything at all. So 5 bonus runs. You will accept that gift every day of the week. 5 runs without an illegal delivery being bowled.
Absolutely, especially when you were feeling the pressure after playing 4 dots. This is sloppy from Shoaib, who's bowled brilliantly up until that time in this over. 4 dots, fires it in outside the leg stump. Was he trying for a leg side stumping? I'm not sure, but the wicketkeeper couldn't get around. And that is sorted out the issue for the over in terms of the required run rate.
Absolutely. So now we're down to the point where there's just 1 ball remaining here in over number 8. Required run rate under 6, meaning less than a run a ball. And this is punched into the leg side. Really, one would think that that's all that would be required. Working it into the gap, picking up singles, you get 5 bonus runs from that over. 6 total. The score after 8 is 59 for 2.
There are fine margins in this game, even with the low total. I mean, the batters are feeling under pressure. You bowled 4 dot deliveries to a set batter who seems to be losing his rhythm after having started brilliantly. And then you gift him that 5 runs. And in isolation, it's just 5 runs, but it's just such a relief for the batter that they can dig deep for another couple of overs. And with not many runs to play with, if you don't keep getting wickets, the partnership goes for any length of time. And in T20 cricket, 2 to 3 overs is quite a significant time.
Short, hammered into the deep. Well, hammered may be overstating it. It's played into the deep. Jonathan Carter coming off of the boundary deep square leg. Single to start over number 9.
Well, it's quite evident after the power play that this ball is not coming on to the bat. That new ball is gone, and like I said, the wicket probably is getting a bit tired now. Sun is beating down on it. Plenty of cricket over the recent days on these pitches. So a wicket or 2 could really make the equation interesting here, especially if Masters are able to do what Raiders did to them. Took 3 wickets on a couple of occasions without giving much runs. I mean, 9 runs at one stage and 2 runs on the other occasion during Masters innings. If they can just get a couple bang here with the ball not coming on, probably that 130, they will be feeling a fighting chance. Who's going to be the man for his captain though?
Stephen Wigg now bowling his 3rd over. My question to you, Shah Faisal, would be this. You're not going to restrict the Raiders Unlimited to, let's say, 127 for 6. You're winning this game essentially only by bowling out the Raiders Unlimited. Your best bowler by some distance so far has been Bhaskar Yadram. How long do you hold him back?
It's an interesting question and an interesting option for the skipper as well. Probably, I think he'd be waiting if this partnership is broken. A new man is in, because Bhaskar Yadram is the one bowler who can run through a lineup. So if he has one end opener, a new batter to bowl at, he can really go and get 2 quick wickets. But at this stage, looking at it, doesn't need to be only Bhaskar Yadram, because someone else needs to also contribute, because it's only 2 wickets down.
Whoa. Sharp delivery by Stephen Wigg causes Nitish Kumar to actually turn his back at the point that ball hit him. Taking his eye off of it, coaches will tell you never ever to do that.
Now this is interesting. It looked like it jagged off the wicket. Nitish was lining it up to play it on the offside, and it just came in, cramped him. And in the end, his hands were nowhere, so he just eventually had to turn his face away from the ball.
Oh, look at this scoop shot. That's his revenge, and it's going to run away to fine leg. In fact, down to deep 3rd for 4.
Yeah, that's desperate measures, because Nitish has realized he can't line him up. And with uneven bounce, you need to at least take his body out of the firing line and then see what happens. And luckily, he got the length to work with. There you go. His body was away from the danger. Just good hands, decent enough contact, and this boundary will release some pressure again from Nitish Kumar.
Well, you said it. He had the length to work with. You are right now exactly halfway to the chase. You're chasing 130. You're now at 65. 2 wickets have fallen. So one team is halfway there. The other team isn't close. Oh, kind of an awkward looking shot. Backing away, trying to play that through the offside. What is going on there? What was it that you just saw?
Well, I think Nitish doesn't want to get behind the line of this ball. There is uneven bounce. And Stephen Wigg, if you look at his run-up, he's really running in. He almost just knocked himself off his feet. He was so far away from the ball in order to reach at it. But Wigg is bowling with some pace, and that uneven bounce has really rattled Nitish Kumar, and he's looking for options.
That's more confident looking. And that time he got inside the line. Just worked it off his hip down to deep square leg. A single to close things out in over number 9. A good over for the Raiders Unlimited. 7 runs coming from it. At the end of 9, 66 for 2. So I'll answer the question I asked you about when to bring Bhaskar Yadram on. I absolutely would bring him on now, because if they stay there, they're more than halfway there to the chase. Gajanan Singh, aggressive batter. Nitish Kumar, well set, 36 from 31. I want to break this partnership now, and my key to winning this match is breaking this partnership. And now, with the new batters coming, assuming I break the partnership, then I'd maybe bring back a Noman Iftikhar. High pace, make the new batters uncomfortable with that high pace. For me, that's what the solution plan would look.
14 runs have come of the last 3 overs, 19 of the last 4 overs. That's after power play, which means that the captain still feels like he's got reasonable control over things, and especially the batters are not even looking confident. It's not just they're just taking their time and finding the middle of the bat regularly. You see this one again keeping low. First delivery, second delivery of the over where Nitish Kumar played, that also kept low. So there's something happening for the bowlers here.
Couple more dot balls. To your point, the last 5 overs, including this one, have gone for 27. So effectively, you're averaging 5.4 and over. So the question then to be asked is, do you just tell yourself as a batting side, they're going through their bowlers, let's just wait them out and work the ball into the gaps, because again, less than, in fact, right now, just a little bit more than a run a ball wins you the game. They still need, and there goes a slice over the top of extra cover. Gajanan Singh is standing and watching it sail into the boundary at extra cover. That is the last, in fact, yep, last ball remaining here in over number 10. In fact, that does go for 4, and that is the last ball of over number 10, driven over extra cover.
Yeah, and that's the kind of moment where the captain will be inclined to what you're suggesting, because that boundary has broken the shackles and released that pressure that was building, and probably that is the time. There's a mini conference happening at the halfway stage. 67 for 2, Raiders United. I think you're saying on.
Welcome back to the Paramveer Sports Complex in Cartersville, Georgia. Otherwise known here, this is the Raiders United against the Masters Cricket Club, otherwise known at least for the next 5 overs as the Ryan and Brian. Did we ever establish if it was the Ryan and Brian show or the Brian and Ryan show?
Brian and Ryan. Can I give you a quick story? I got to give you a quick story as Jonathan Carter warms up.
All right.
So we have a group called Ryan United. It's an actual Ryan group. We all gather once a year. And there was a question that went around the group. What do we hate most? We all hate Brian's. Because everyone calls Ryan Brian. And that's why all Ryans hate Brian's, just that you know. So let's start off on that note.
I can see how the next 30 balls are going to go make that 20.
I would play a little bit more of attacking field. You don't have to spread out your field and just go to the status quo every single time. You need wickets, and the captain needs to recognise that. And the bowlers, you can't just come and bowl a steady line and length. You're going to have to try something different to try and gather wickets and put the pressure on the batter.
Jonathan Carter, who is a decent all-rounder, working this one down to long on for a single. But to your point, essentially, even though the last few overs have not been very explosive, but essentially you're building some confidence. Maybe you're a little rattled, Gajanan Singh being hit by Stephen Wigg a couple of overs ago, but you're getting to the point where you're getting singles, and singles wins you the game from here.
Thank you. Run a ball.
Run a ball.
A run a ball.
So Gajanan Singh driving it into the outfield, and again, all he needs is singles. So in order to change the conversation, are we talking 2 slips? Are we talking men in catching position in front? What innovative things would you do to be able to manufacture wickets from here?
I think you might want to bring your spinner back on, the left-hand orthodox spinner, Malavarapo. Bring him back on, maybe have a field just a little bit more attacking for him to work with. As much as we enjoy Jonathan Carter and his bowling, but to have a long off and a long on and then bowl stump to stump bowling, the batters could just play within the V and pick you off 1s and 2s, and then the occasional bad ball go for 4.
That's essentially the definition for a runner ball.
Yeah.
If you were to
Absolutely.
draw up a formula for how do I get these batters to
Play in the V.
Yeah, play in the V. And again, if you're chasing, of the chasing total was 220, then that might be effective. Hammered away into the deep. Hammered again might have been exaggerating it. There's a fielder out there, deep mid wicket, who just collects. So there is 1 more over in the books. 11 are done. The score is 77 for 2. You're scoring right now at the rate of 7 and over, and you only need to score the rest of the way at 5.89 and over. End of 11, the score is 77 for 2. So question for you, Mr. Ryan Davis.
It better not be math, Brian.
I promise you there will be no math. What is the compound integral? No, stop. Bhaskar Yadram has taken 2 wickets. In fact, the only 2 wickets to fall so far. Bhaskar Yadram has 2 overs remaining.
And he's only given up 3 runs. 2 overs, 2 for 3.
Why are we holding on to him? When do we bring him back?
I agree with you. I think Mailavarapu from one end, Yadram from the other. This game is not going to be decided in the 18th, 19th, and 20th.
Correct.
If you continue along this path.
And it's certainly not. It will be much quicker than that if you keep giving away free runs. So I don't mind necessarily a shy at the stumps, but with nobody there to back it up, you have gifted a bonus run, and that has a debilitating effect on the psyche of the players in the field who know that they're working with a really small total to defend. Next delivery floated up there, and Gajanan Singh for the moment has put away the aggressive shots.
Love the fact that the spinner is back on. I think you can not only tie down the scoring, but give yourself an opportunity for a mistake from the batter with the spinner.
Choosing for the moment right now to play him defensively is Gajanan Singh. And I think this is intelligent. He knows, because this is 3 deliveries remaining in the day with the ball for Shoaib Tai. The right arm finger spinner means that he's turning it away from the left-handed Gajanan Singh as they get a quick single here. So you're running out of options 1 by 1. 2 more deliveries left in the day with the ball for
Shoaib Tai.
Shoaib Tai. So
Mailavarapu from Shoaib Tai's area, and then Yadram from his original end, and allow them put pressure back on the batters. Even if you don't get a wicket, at least maybe you get the ratio away from a runner ball and have them have to take some chances.
I think that plan makes sense, because as of this point, that single work.
It's easy pickings right now, Brian. Right now it's risk-free batting for the batter. They can just push whenever they need a single, they'll take it. Of course, the occasional loose ball. These bowlers are human. Get the loose ball, put it away. There's nothing really beating the bat at the moment. Shoaib Tai is the only one that can really tie down this end.
No pun intended. Boy, that didn't go where Gajanan Singh was looking to.
You're right on it, and I love that.
That didn't go where Gajanan Singh was looking to play it, but effectively yet another single. So 5 singles come from the over. That is the end of over number 12, 82 for 2. Brian, the very definition of a runner ball is what you need from here. And they work continuing with Jonathan Carter.
So Jonathan Carter, much like Yadram, that's similar pace, but Yadram had the ability in his 2 overs to hit the seam with regularity on off stump or just about off stump. So he was consistently beating the edge, and even if the batsman played, the ball will roll to point, not coming off the middle. Carter will have to do the same with deadly accuracy.
Intelligent batting here by Gajanan Singh, and in fact they may just have thought about a second, but not going to happen. So here's another question for you, because as of now you're looking for ways to manufacture wickets. Noman Iftikhar's the opening bowler, went for 12 in his first over, a couple of boundaries. Nitish Kumar got stuck into him, but at what point do you say, for example, you know what, he's the quickest bowler in the side, let's see if we can, you know, aggressively prize out a wicket, maybe put a deep backward square leg and a deep fine leg in and bounce out a wicket, do something other than just conceding singles.
Love that idea, but he's going to have to become behind Yadram, who's 2 for 3 off of 2.
Oh, whoa, look at this. Full straight. Nitish Kumar is done. Middle stump rock back, 82 for 3.
Well, it was a time where Kumar should have just played a defensive shot. Carter stump to stump bowling. May got a little bit of movement with the breeze, but it was enough to break the shackles for this Masters team. And this is what they need, wickets, Brian. Conserving the runs, as we talked about, a runner ball is sort of out of their spectrum right now. They need to get wickets. Now they have a new batter. You have an opportunity as the captain to not spread the field and give him the single to get off strike. You want to bring a couple of them in. This is what I would do to step out of the norm. Here's Jonathan Carter. We talked about deadly accuracy. Well, here's a look at deadly accuracy. Middle stump, rocked back. And Kumar full of confidence, but a little bit too overconfident in that shot.
And we're looking at this again. Watch Nitish Kumar's feet.
Pull away, trying to score on the offside, inside out. Not necessary. We talk about managing games, being professional. There's an opportunity for Kumar to come out not out in this innings.
Again, similar to what we said yesterday, you have the opportunity. You're not chasing 230, you're chasing 130. You really can just suffice with pushing the ball around. What you were doing was working. So I don't know necessarily that I understand the need to back away to the leg side, try to go through the offside.
Well, Jonathan Carter and the Masters thanks Kumar for that rash shot. Not so much for the amount of runs he compiled, but yes, he certainly had a great innings of 42 just off of
onto the front foot, and again, please, you got to say what you're thinking, because I can read it, but nobody else is seeing you right now.
Why not think out of the norm? Why is your field spread to the new batter? In any format of the game, the new batter comes in, put the pressure on him. Now you allow Singh, who's 24th of 23, he's been out there for 30 minutes, to get back on strike and dictate the game from the batter's end.
It would seem to be the perfect opportunity to bring the field in. And if he goes over your head first ball, you live with that, because you only have a handful of runs.
And he's taking a chance, and you want that. You want the batter to take a chance.
Exactly. Played down the ground again for a single. Again, what this is an opportunity to take control of the game. And you're not going to get very many opportunities to look to take control of the game. 85 for 3 is the current score. I'm going to ask you about that score line to see how good your cricket knowledge / memory is, Mr. Ryan Davis. I'll ask you about that after. In fact, that to start the beginning of the next over. I'll ask you about 85 for 3. Remember those two numbers.
Great. Here comes the math.
Calvin Savage, again, a fast bowler. In fact, I'd refer to him as a genuine all-rounder. Bats very well, but did not take the ball today. He's 6'6", hits the deck hard. I'm wondering whether or not the slight hamstring issue that he had earlier in the tournament may be just starting to act up a little bit on him.
The amount of cricket these guys are playing, he's on the circuit, quote unquote.
Goes short this time. Work down into the leg side. I don't mind going short to try to manufacture a wicket, but Calvin Savage handles it well, working it off his hips down to deep, fine leg. 5 runs and a wicket come from that over from Jonathan Carter. So a successful one. That is the end of 13. The score is 87 for 3. Current score 87 for 3. A couple of deliveries ago, it was 85 for 3. My question to you, Mr. Ryan Davis, a very famous match sometime in the last quarter of a century. A test match where the end of day 4, the chasing side was 85 for 3, and they ended up with 311 for 9. Who were the individual teams? Who was the most important batter in that match?
What day is it? Is it Saturday or Sunday? See, I'm not even sure what day it is. So you asked me to remember what test match this is. I would love to be part of the conversation, but Brian, I'm going to have to refer to you on this one. I do not know.
I'm only able to recite all of this because I was in attendance. The end of day 4, West Indies, Australia. West Indies 85 for 3. Brian Lara was maybe 25 not out. Ends up the next day 153 not out. Brian Lara and the West Indies take victory by the margin of 1 wicket. And you asked for the left arm spin, as you and I smile in memory of what the West Indies cricket team used to be, but we'll move on from that right now.
Don't move too far away from Brian Charles Lara. He's coming right back.
As for Sachin Malavarapur, here he is back into the attack. A dot ball for the first, and now a single down to long off for the second. And are you going to try to ask me another question?
No. So important to bring the left arm spinner back in. He is a wicket-taking type of bowler.
Yes.
And now he's a new batter, the captain, Savage, to bowl to. Now let's see what he does with the field. We see Mohammed hovering around close to the infield, hopefully to protect the single and keep Savage on strike. But still, Savage does have that long V to work with the long on and the long off.
Yep. In an effort to try to manufacture a wicket. And I'll ask my question in a second. In fact, I'll ask it now. With the left arm orthodox spinner turning it away from the right-hander, do you consider bringing long on inside the circle to mid-on and try to tempt him to hit over the top against the spin?
Not so much long on. The only reason is the breeze is going directly towards long on. So the batter right now is hitting with the breeze. Will be a little hesitant. Oof.
Down the ground, Gajanan Singh very happy to continue picking up those singles. 3 of them in the over so far with 4 balls gone.
So yeah, the long on to the lefty, correct. But for the righty, understand the breeze is going directly into that direction. So it'll give Savage a lot of room to work with, just to lift the ball over.
Now, much more attacking field if you note. Field for a stumping, no, but there's now a short cover. There's a man at backward point. There's a first slip. So you're on, this field's more like the attacking type of field that you want to a relatively new batter.
As Elvis once sang a song, it's now or never, Brian. This is when you bring your attacking bowlers on. This is when you bring the field in, put the pressure on the new batter. Wickets is what's going to turn it back into Masters' favour.
Going off the back foot, looking to work this, not timing it well. I've gotten a couple of hints in the last couple of deliveries that the pressure is starting to bear on Calvin Savage himself. Going to be interesting to see how he handles it from here. I want to hear your thoughts about that after this. That's the end of over number 14, 90 for 3. Okay, so you've seen Calvin Savage come to the crease, 4 from 6, tried to force one off the back foot just now and had it dribble awkwardly at his feet. What is in his mind as captain and as number 5 batter?
Well, he has a fantastic batter who is in nick at the moment, in Singh on the other end. Shot.
That is cut away. Delicate shot, may not make it to the boundary, but easy 2 runs. Exuberance of youth, Yasser Mohammed sliding across the pitch to make sure that that just stays 2.
But for Savage, the captain, when he is on strike, must try to get Singh back on strike. Singh now 29 off of 28. You just saw him open the face of the bat and run it through that backward point area. He is seeing the ball clearly. It was a good delivery by Carter,
Yes.
and he still managed to manufacture 2 off of it.
38 needed from 35, so those 2 numbers are starting to have some distance between them. Cut away into the deep, but there's protection out here. The sweeper limits things to 1 run. Now Calvin Savage back on strike. To your point, Calvin Savage right now you think should just be getting the ball or getting the strike back to Gajan Singh.
I do, and right now, specifically in this over, he's sitting against the wind. He's coming firmly into Savage's face. The breeze, if he decides to go over the top, especially by mid-on and mid-wicket, it's going to hold up in that area. So he has to be careful and not get too aggressive.
Yorker length. I thought he was looking to play that behind square. Thick leading edge takes the ball down to Stephen Wigg at deep mid-wicket. But again, effectiveness, you get a single.
Lovely attempted Yorker by Carter. He has to bowl that out delivery more often than not now, understanding what the game needs. It didn't turn out to be the way he wanted, but you understand the effort.
Sure. Slower through the air. Gajan Singh playing within himself. Recognizing, I think, the need of the moment. 5 runs already from over number 15 with just 2 to come.
Not exactly a Bravo-style slower delivery, but slower delivery nonetheless by Carter. Question is now, he had the attempted Yorker to Savage just a ball ago. Does he go back to off stump? We'll see.
He goes short, and that is actually a decent short ball. Calvin Savage is 6'6", and that ball was up at his face. So good pace. I don't mind seeing that. Again, every once in a while, try something to change the conversation.
Have to change just the line and the length, the trajectory for the batter, so he doesn't get used to the trajectory. Savage getting over it, getting the single. But Carter's height, he's not a tall man.
No.
But because of that smooth run-up that he has, he generates pace off of technique and rhythm.
Kind of like the man who you referred to the other day as the best fast bowler to ever play cricket.
Malcolm Denzel Marshall from
Denzel
Barbados.
himself. Rest in peace. That is the end of over number 15. The score is 97 for 3. $97 for 3. 33 runs needed, 30 balls to come. So Ryan Davis, it appears as though even though we should have had a shift change, the replacement workers have not yet come. As we say goodbye for the moment to the tournament director,
The man
Magnus Chowdhury.
The man who makes things happen, the action man.
Oh my goodness, yes. So that is Malavarapur back into the attack. Left arm orthodox, 2 overs, none for 16, and the one that you, Ryan Davis, asked for to continue bowling. Do you bowl him out here?
You have to finish through his overs here. Yadram as well, waiting in the wings. So too you have your opening bowler. Give him a shy. Oh, he's pulled him. And the left arm spinner looks up to the heavens and gets the captain the scalp that he's looking for, the new batter, putting the pressure on the new batter, Brian. We preached about it for the last 3 overs.
Yeah.
It came to fruition, and We wanted an Imran Tahir sort of celebration where he runs around the track. Didn't get it. But here's that delivery. Myla Varapu just holding it back, Brian. Look at the turn. Pitching it outside leg, hits the middle stump, and Savage just looking towards mid-wicket.
Savage looking towards mid-wicket, but before he played the shot, he stepped again away from the line of the ball. I mentioned that he looked like the pressure was getting to him.
He completely lost his shape. He lost his shape, and then the stumps went flying.
Well, once again, you don't get to 10 wickets without first getting to 3. You get one here, and all of a sudden, you've exposed the lower middle order, because now the new batter coming in is going to have to face up to a rampant Sachin Malavarapu. Gajanan Singh is standing at the non-striker's end, and the new batter coming in. As soon as we'll identify him, we'll let you know, as we are rapidly going from page to page trying to see who this new batter is. But more to the point, a wicket has fallen, another wicket goes down.
And that affects the run rate, Brian. Not only the wickets, but the run rate takes a hit as well.
That is exactly the case. Hamza Tariq. Now, Hamza Tariq, former Canadian international, has been around the block a few times. He would know how to manage the situation. So you have a Canadian national, American international, Gajanan Singh, well set, 33 from 32 with a 4 and a 6. You would think that these two know to only go on and just punch the ball down the gap. And we try a reverse sweep, first ball, and he goes leg before wicket. Oh my goodness, Mr. Davis. What would your father, Charlie Davis, say about that choice of shots for the first ball to face?
Well, I'll be on a diet for a week because I would not see food on the table if I attempted a reverse sweep on my very first delivery. A left-arm orthodox spinner hitting his straps, Brian, right on middle stump. Huge shout and well worth it. He's totally off balance. Shape is gone. And the umpire, no doubter. And it's the T20 game where batters somehow lose their way in managing the game, what's expected, what's needed. And the new batter came in and completely went onto his own path, attempting a reverse sweep against Myla Varapu, who's been hitting stump-to-stump bowling. And that would have rocked back middle and off.
Umpire Shane Samuels is a brilliant umpire, but this was, for me, not a difficult decision. For a split second, that same test match I referred to earlier, I started to say at the end of day 2, the score was 98 for 6. And I thought I was going to ask you, what are the odds of 98 for 6 being in this match? At 98 for 3, I was like, there's no way. Well, we're now 98 for 5.
Is Brian Lara going to come into bat? That's the only thing that's going to do this thing. If you get my point. That's a whole different factor coming in right there, a whole different variable.
Oh, my goodness. So Ravinder Pal Singh is now on strike to, number 1, try to avert a hat trick, if you can believe it. And number 2, try to get his side to control the match. Quicker delivery, back onto the back foot and plays it for no run. But you mentioned how the run rate is impacted by wickets. That required rate is now up to 7.4.
Well, we talked about the wickets will change the game, not just stopping the runs.
Yep.
And the lefty has done it.
Looking to sweep, dead in front again. Umpire Shane Samuels having a think, but then deciding, I think this one might be slipping down.
Understanding that the left-arm orthodox bowler wants to pitch the ball on leg stump or so. Just an inch outside there, the batter could not be given out if it's pitched outside the line of leg stump.
So last ball in a very eventful over. Quicker delivery, appeal for a catch. Not given. Boy, a lot of excitement and some nervous moments here for the Raiders Unlimited. Here we see on the replay. What do you see here on this delivery from your left arm spinner?
Well, it started at middle leg. Now he's gone back to middle stump. Invited him to the pub, Brian, and left him. Didn't give him directions, and he was lost.
Tremendous over. That is the end of over number 16. 32 needed from the last 24. The required rate is 8, and the score is 98 for 5. In a couple times, when do you bring back your strike bowler? 2 for 3 from 2 overs. Gajanan Singh against Bhaskar Yadram is going to be an interesting matchup. Gajanan Singh Bhaskar Yadram moving the ball off of the pitch both directions. As a matter of fact, this matchup might have taken place in Guyana several years ago. Both of these young men from Guyana, but they're asked to do something completely different here. Bhaskar Yadram bowling over the wicket. I like that angle to the left-handed Gajanan Singh.
Well, we saw Yadram do his work against righties, Brian, earlier on. Let's see how he adjusts to the line of the lefty. Has to try and pitch that ball outside off and try and bring it back in off the seam. Let's see if he can do it.
Flash and a miss outside the line of off. Note that there is, well, I was about to say he's a slip. He's not really a slip. He's more either fly slip or short third. I wouldn't mind seeing him come up into an actual slip catching position.
Yeah.
Because it is the point in the match where you get the sense if something is going to happen that will push us on toward another 2-3 quick wickets, that it needs to be right now.
Well, the adjustment was made. Mailavarappa came back on. Carter did his job. Now Yadram.
Skied. Running back is the fielder, running from third. Oh my goodness, he puts it down and it goes for 4. He had it covered at the very end. You thought that was the vice captain, Sachin Mailavarappu, running back from deep third. You looks like he had it under control. Thought he covered it, but he ended up spilling it, and it goes for 4.
Going to go with my left arm spinner on this one. Catch over the shoulder. Running back has to be the hardest thing to do in cricket, to hold on. But boy, he got there, but didn't stop the boundary, which was so important. But Yadram, Carter, Mailavarappu, wicket-taking bowlers, yes, changing the course of this match in the middle part of the innings. I thought the captain did a great job bringing them back on in this stage of the match.
And note, by the way, that we're now above 100, 102 for 5 with that boundary. Cut away for 4. This is more authoritative. Gave him the width outside the line of off. Gajanan Singh cashes in. He's now up to 41 from 35 with 3 4s and a 6.
Well, Gajanan Singh was playing with Kumar. He was more of the anchor role as Kumar was playing his shots. Now that Singh is being the most seasoned batter for this innings, now 41 over 35, his role has changed. He has to be slightly bit more the aggressor, start pushing on the score and get the flow of runs, get the course of the match back in the batter's favour.
Well, it certainly has swung more towards the batter's favour in this over. 8 runs from the over so far, very fortuitous. And they need another 24 and 3.3. My goodness. So Bhaskar Yadram knows he's a wicket-taking option, changes his line of attack now, going around the wicket to the left-hander. Yorker length, targeting the stumps. Do they want 2 here? Sprinting in from the deep is Yasir Mohammed, but it's not going to be in time. 2 precious runs.
Well, again, Singh putting the pressure on the fielder. Doesn't have to take every ball to the boundary. He got 2 4s in the last 2 deliveries. He gets 2 more here. That's 10 and 3 off the big Yadram, who was so stingy in his first 2 overs. So the lefty starting to give Yadram a bit of problems with the adjustment of the line. We saw Yadram so effective against the righty in the first 2 overs. But Yadram, hands on hips, having a really hard time giving the lefty any problems.
works it into the deep for a single. So you ask the question, is Brian Lara coming in with the score 98 for 6? Well, it's not Brian Lara, but it is another left-handed international batter, Gajanand Singh, who's putting his hand up and saying, look, enough of this. I want to pull my team kicking and screaming over the finish line.
Doing a good job, gets a single, and understand only one more delivery left in this over, so not that much pressure on Pal Singh. Just has to face this one delivery, and then Gajanand Singh can go back to work on the other end.
If you wanted a ball to receive to get off the mark, it would be a half volley on leg stump that you simply punch into the leg side for a single to keep the strike.
It'll be your last wishes on your deathbed. Brian, what would you like? I would like a half volley on my leg stump, please. Forget the dinner. Just a half volley on leg stump. And that's exactly what Yajram served up for Pal Singh.
That is the end of over number 17. The score is 110 for 5. So by some measures, the two best bowlers on the day for the Masters Cricket Club have been Bhaskar Yajram and Sachin Malavarapu. Malavarapu on now to bowl his last over. Worked away into the deep for a single. And Ravinder Pal Singh won, make that 2 from 5. Just now getting started. Both Bhaskar Yajram and Sachin Malavarapu have 2 wickets each. And that single brings you down to another 19 needed from 17 balls.
Well, Malavarapu threw it around to the right-hander. Now left arm over to the lefty. So understand, Malavarapu bowling into the wind. That means Singh is hitting with the wind. But he has to beat the best fielder on the field at long off, Mohammed, if he wants to test him.
Well, I think they're going to want 2 here, do they? Coming back for the second. Oh my goodness, not an accurate throw. And in fact, Stephen Wigg pumping a couple times before throwing that one. And it goes away for double. Very, very important runs here.
Singh wanted to keep strike, understanding that he's the guy that has his eye in. Again, only 4 runs away.
Sharma, who fielded that ball, but played back to the bowler himself for that. And the equation changes again just a little bit. So you're looking now at 113 needed.
So this one just outside off stump, and Malavarapu gets a valuable dot ball against Pal Singh. So 17 runs needed, 15 deliveries remaining. Maybe a boundary needed for Singh just to relieve the pressure. This one shorter, rocks back. Yajram comes across just the one, but more importantly, it gets Singh off of strike and allows Malavarapu to work on Pal Singh. Just 1 delivery remaining. Batters coming on halfway to have a quick discussion on what's needed. Just reminding Pal Singh of what Malavarapu is trying to do in his deliveries. So Malavarapu, the last delivery of his spell. Short delivery, and it keeps a little low, but a dot ball takes us through 18 overs gone, 114 for 5, 16 needed from 12. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the Paramveer Sports Complex. 114 for 5, which means that you need another 16 runs. And you need them in 2 overs. Not exactly straightforward.
Not comfortable for
You're
the
not
batters.
comfortable.
A boundary is needed to relieve some of the pressure.
Yes.
Make no mistake about it. But the man at the wicket at the moment, 47 off of 41, Gajnath Singh is the guy to bring the bacon home, as they say.
And they have kept Bhaskar Yadram back for probably over number 19. Jonathan Carter with the ball in hand. Sliced away for 4. Didn't go anywhere near where he was looking to play it, Gajnath Singh, but I don't think he'll mind a boundary to start things here in over number 19.
Well, Carter can't believe it. Yorker outside the line of off stump. Usually requires a dot ball unless you get a little bit lucky. And Gajnath Singh swinging for the clouds, getting a huge edge. Fortune favors the brave, Brian.
Absolutely. By the way, my apologies. I just said saving Bhaskar Yadram for 19. Of course, I meant number 20. This is over number 19. Do you go pace off here if you're Jonathan Carter, as we see the replay?
Well, accurate as you could like. Full pitch delivery, Yorker length, got the toe of the bat.
He does go pace off, but it's the line and length are both wrong, and it's pounded into the award ceremony area for another boundary.
Well, they asked for a boundary and they got 2. And it's Singh is the man answering the bell. Carter has to be inch perfect. And this one pulled away by Singh, who's seeing the ball so early now, Brian.
By the way, we didn't acknowledge he's now up to 50, as this is now the 3rd delivery of over number 19. Down the ground, just a single. But again, Gajnath Singh, I think, has seen enough. He's just looking now to finish the game. Just another 7 runs needed. And Jonathan Carter fought and bowled well for the most part, but being taken apart here in this his last over.
Yeah, was a little unlucky on that first delivery, but those last 2 deliveries came off the middle of the bat of Singh. 9 runs in 3 deliveries. Put the pressure back on the fielding team.
And you certainly don't need that. Wide down the leg side, and that brings the deficit to now just 6 runs. 1 big strike down the ground away from finishing this game. I don't think that Ravinder Pal Singh will be thinking that. I think he's just thinking, look, all we need is just a single. All I need to do is get the man who was 56 from 44 back on strike. Or he can hit the ball toward us right here in the area. Whoa, I have not fielded the ball in a few years, Ryan. Almost had the chance just now.
It shows, Brian.
Well, I lost it right here in the table. Whipping it right here into the commentator area. There's a replay. Look at this ball.
Carter again trying the
I'm
Yorker.
not on the back end of this highlight.
Carter again trying the Yorker and ends up back on the pads, and that's one of the favorite things for a batter.
And here we go. Looking to cut this away. Wants to end things here. Not making any contact, so just 1 ball remaining in this over number 19. In theory, the ball or the match could be finished with this next delivery, and it appears as that's exactly what Ravinder Pal Singh wanted to have happen.
So Carter, I thought, was the guy to bowl the 19th, but the unlucky 4 at the beginning set the tone for the rest of the over.
Cut away
Beautiful.
for 4 down the slope, and that is the end of the match. Guided beautifully behind point, and a really elegant shot there by Ravinder Pal Singh to give the Masters Cricket Club the directions home to the airport, as the Raiders Unlimited take this one by 5 wickets.
Absolutely. Got it, getting in line with the ball, open the face of the bat, and that's just an elegant cricket shot in any format of the game. 16 runs were needed, Brian, in 2 overs. They did it in 6 deliveries.
My goodness. So, again, you and I both thought that there was no way there were enough runs on the board.
Correct, and I think the Jonathan Carter story comes to play. Jonathan Carter usually batted at 4 or 5. They held him back just a little in the first innings. I think that upset the flow of the Masters innings. Don't forget, Patel and Drabar did set the table with a well over 50 partnership to begin the innings, but the middle order let Masters down and the Raiders pounced.
Absolutely. So, quick look at the scorecard. Karshik Gomel and Nitish Kumar got things started. Nitish Kumar, I thought, batted very well. And then Gajanan Singh finishes things off at the end. For the bowlers, Norman Iftikhar, quickest bowler, only got 1 over. The best bowlers for me were Sachin Malavarpu and Bhaskar Yadram. 2 wickets each for both of them. Stephen Wigg and Shoaib Tai only going for 8 runs each per over. But that does mean with the summary, how does that summary look to you?
It looks like Raiders using that lunch and peel attitude, blue collar working attitude, stuck to their line and length, put pressure on the Masters from the early, and that then took the game away from them in the first innings by subduing them to just 129 runs, thanks to the fantastic bit of bowling from the Raiders outfit.
So that does conclude things from here. The semi-finals are done, and the combatants in the final are going to be the Raiders Unlimited, fresh off this victory, meeting up against a star-studded and powerfully packed Kingsmen side. Join us. I believe that match starts at 2:30 tonight or this afternoon. In other words, about 90 minutes. Let's make that 80 minutes from now. Really, really interesting and exciting final coming up. Join us for that match right here from the Paramvere Sports Complex in Cartersville, Georgia. This is Brian Walters signing off for the Brian and Ryan Show, or make that the Ryan and Brian Show. We'll join you again in about 80 minutes.